That wrong again.
Yeah. I hope he whips his butt.
It's gonna be interesting. Who else is fighting tomorrow? There's UFC as well.
Yeah, tomorrow we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. This is gonna be a good one.
Predictions, Katina Man says.
I think Lopez. So this is Volk and Lopez too. Volk won the first one. He won the belt back, but I think Diego Lopez takes it this time.
So a rubber match then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he had a massive fight against Jean Silva, Diego Lopez, that is, in which I lost with 8 seconds left because I needed to go into the second round, I believe, or third round. Yeah, and I lost that one. And yeah, with 8 seconds left, Diego Lopez hit him with a spinning elbow. I think if he keeps everything tight and uses his distance, I think that Lopez can take this one.
All right, predictions on boxing before we.
I think I want Teofimo to knock the bricks in the. Yes. I want him to beat his face. I like a good old-fashioned beating, like what Paddy Pimblett took the other day from Justin Gaethje. I want to see his face busted up, like Devin Haney got busted up by Ryan Garcia.
Whoa, Joey Opsh. All right, you heard it from here. He likes violence. All right, guys, no more kidding. Big boys, they're that away. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. We'll see everybody same bat time, same bat channel on Monday. I'll be at the big desk shortly.
See you guys.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for the throw. Yeah, we're trading and we're busy, making some back and forth trades here. You'll note right here what we got going on. We still got the silver short, we still got the Tesla long. It's been quite the afternoon for sure, man. Like you can tell when I got back from swimming here, we started taking some out, and we went right on the show and was talking about that. I couldn't believe we were actually down this far. Let it fall down, make some bases down here around $70. There goes silver, man. Hi ho. Great day for silver if you're short. Yeah, that trade continues to work. So it should be a great afternoon here today. We'll be watching out for SLV and talk about some of those small cap runners that we had just seen right there. And it was, thank you so much in the chat, it was a pretty good call there on silver. And we made that call real super early, man. I mean, we made this call at 8 a.m. where we sort of just said, you know what, let's try silver again today. 100 short, never got into that area, but watch the pre-market low for a break. And Joe said on the show, like, you can never, he's 100% right? Like, you can't call a 30% move. That's hard to call, but you can call the momentum. We saw it happen today, and this is why you try to leave something on for the runners, right? And I mean, and there it goes down huge. And I'm pretty proud to say, out of all 2,400 traders at Real Trading, we'll hold up the trophy today for SLV. So we're really proud of that, and as it goes on, so that's what that is.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Like, silver was one of those.
Appreciate you, Sharif.
It can make your entire week. No questions asked. I didn't even trade it until there was a disconnect between SLV and ZSL. So what happened in ZSL, and I got a partial fill for the entry, so it's mucking up, but I got 233. I've tweeted it when it happened. But effectively, and this is going back to the arbitrage days. So I'm going to go to the time. This would be this red candle, 124. So at 124, you drop from 275 to 228. Now this is a 2x inverse, right? So it should move twice as much. So it goes 275 down to 228 or so. So that's a good 20% move. And SLV at that time did this. Effectively nothing. So someone got liquidated, and I was yelling to these guys, like, well, there's an arbitrage. And so what probably happens is day traders, because this thing's going to do 1 billion shares, are probably more heavily trading ZSL than they are SLV. So therefore, people are getting liquidated here. It doesn't necessarily mean that silver goes the other way. Right? Like, this is more likely to, like, this will follow, one will follow the other, but it's not automatic that you're going to be able to hold that. So when it broke the trend a little bit, one fell apart. Now, it's rare that you see arbitrage opportunities out there in the market, but the crazier that something is moving, then the more apt you are to see situations like this. So just be careful if you're ever trading a leverage ETF. Like, I'm not saying, like, this is not, if you're looking at like the TQs, here's a good example. This is not almost impossible that this would happen on the TQs. Pretty close to it. But when you start looking at these like individual symbol, like 2-3x leverage, like, I don't know, is there like a BM&R one, or if something like that has a 2 or 3x and it goes into play, or you have an inverse, you are at risk of those types of flash crashes potentially happening because of the lack of liquidity. And it's just a function of people getting too leveraged into the trend. So when it cracks a little bit, they're just getting washed out. And there's no hedge on the other side. So it's just literally arbitrage traders waiting to buy it up. And you're only going to take advantage of that if you happen to be watching it, which is kind of old school. Usually the algos will eat that one up. But there was just so many people long ZSL, and there was so much volume, there was nothing to do. It was just chewing through levels over and over and over again. So that kind of is what it is. For a lot of people, hopefully a bit of a learning experience if you're able to sort of witness that. Like, I haven't seen that kind of an arbitrage in, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
All right, getting ready to discuss more plays with Sharif, with Joe, Neil, everybody here as this afternoon goes on. We do have the rundown coming through very, very soon. One trade that has to be disappointing, I think, for most today would be SoFi. I mean, SoFi is down like basically 13%, like from its highs. It was up here 6, 7, 8%, and then it just got murdered down to the downside, like pretty much all morning. And now we'll wait to see if the afternoon trade does wind up coming through right now. But 23 and change, we'll wait to see where that all goes. But yeah, who knows where we go from here on SoFi. That's have to be disappointing on earnings today. Another earnings name today, of course, ExxonMobil. Boom, 140, great print on Exxon. I mean, what a stud that name has been for the last little while. I mean, the daily on ExxonMobil is just like one red day in all month. Like, give me a break as that name continues to hum. This is what the broader market looks like. I'm holding on to like basically 5% left of SLV or something like that. It's not even a thing, but I'm over the moon on it. So, all right, today, it's not all bad. Money. Eli Lilly today got building a new plant, so that's going to be a good one there. Eli Lilly, we'll check out what that's happening there. Tesla up 4%. We're $9 in the money over there on our Tesla trade. And these are all, like the Tesla long and the silver short, we're given at 8 o'clock. A lot of these other plays, like AMD kind of dropped out. We did like the AMD short. We wrote that down. That's down 5% too today. So I think we really nailed some of the calls. What is this one down here? Hold on a second. Electronic technology. KLA Core. Okay, I wonder why that's down 14%. That's probably an earnings play. STX, Seagate as well. Well, Western Digital. Okay, yeah. So my bad. I forgot about the memory names today. We can definitely have a look at SanDisk, Western Digital, Micron today coming in. But yeah, it's kind of a yuck day. I mean, yesterday we were able to recover into the afternoon. Let's find out if today is one of those days we'll be able to do that one more time. Consumer non-durable is good as well. So it's kind of like all the love is on this side. Healthcare, consumer. It's sort of the plays, and I heard you guys talk about Bitcoin. It's nice that Bitcoin's up to 84,000 again.
What begins with 2 A's?
Apple.
I know. Whatever. My screen was already on Apple, so there was no chance that I was going to be able to ask a question and you not see it.
So I didn't see it there.
I know, but Apple. I know, but 2 A. Yeah, 2 A.
I mean, was I going to say Alcoa?
Apple's about to go green on the day. Joe goes Alcoa like laughing on.
Hey man, only some of us cheat around here, guys. You guys know that ain't me.
If you're an old school trader, Alcoa used to be a big deal because it would always signal the start of earnings season was when Alcoa reported. Now that just doesn't matter anymore. But no, it is about to go green.
Yeah.
Random scandals. Hey, Trader TV crew, you've been day trading for 8 months, educated Monday to Friday by older trading gurus. With 30K, I was down at the end of 2025 was worth the tuition fee. I made 21K back on SLV today. Cannot thank you all enough. That's exactly what it's all about.
That's what it's exactly what it's all about.
The thing about it, like when it's doing that kind of volume, you should volume, volatility as well. Like those are the types of things we saw at Real Trading. Like all there was like Amex, when we looked at TIP, and that was. I promise you that was ZSL. It did like almost 1 billion shares yesterday, and it does almost 1 billion here today. But it's the same theme. It's still going to be silver.
Crazy.
So while it's going crazy, there's that little pocket where it's the thing. While quantum is going crazy, there's this little pocket while it's the thing.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about quantum. Actually, no, it got mentioned this morning, but we haven't talked about quantum in weeks. Outside of context. The nuclear name went crazy for a while, and they were a thing. No one ever forgets when marijuana stocks were, for like 2 months, a few years ago, like that's all anybody was doing. So you do have to wait for those opportunities. Because if you look at, like, what's Apple done today? Like one of the biggest and most important companies in the world had a report that we are all glowing over. And you're probably going to, if we get it in the rundown, you'll probably hear us say more positive things about it. And it's flat on the day. And there's opportunities, and don't get me wrong, like you got the bottom on Apple, you're absolutely laughing, but it is what it is. I think we're ready for the rundown now. Sharif is going to be in place. So, I mean, I think it'll be pretty easy to figure out what's going to be at the top of the list. I don't know what number 2 is going to be, though. Sharif?
Catherine O'Hara died. That whole... Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. Neil, Sean, the big boys as they're known, they're locked, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on the Afternoon Rundown, you got to get in the chat, you got to vote, but make sure to throw in that $sign before you vote with the ticker of your choice. Let's start the Afternoon Rundown by looking at all 4 major averages. And we are off the lows by a nice amount here. The Qs are still down 0.89, but they were much, much lower. They tested yesterday's lows, pre-market lows. Good defend there of that 620 area, right back up into 623, still down 0.9%. The SPY faring a lot better, only down 0.25%, with the Dow only down 1/3. And the IWM was the worst performing major average on the day, still is, but well off the lows, now down only 1%. It was on the verge of going 2% in negative territory. But the story everybody is talking about is the sell-off in silver. SLV down 27%, and that's off the lows. It was down into 33. Credited here for the sell-off is the nomination of Kevin Warsh as the next Federal Reserve Chair to succeed Jerome Powell in May of this year. His skepticism toward ultra easy, I should say, monetary policy suggests fewer rate cuts and possibly a strengthening dollar. Boys, silver, SLV, down 26 2/3.
I never heard of it, but yeah, no, look, it's like we said before, to each their own, right? I mean, before we went off the air, we were sort of talking about different strategies. For me, it was a VWAP play, and it was a play that we had mentioned early, and I wasn't even really playing the whole Kevin Warsh thing, but that makes a lot of sense now. I mean, obviously, there has to be some reason why this thing cracks, and I think it's just a lot of over-leveraging there. But, you know, we wrote down that we wanted 100. Now, I mean, that was something else, because we write down this short at like 8 a.m., right? And when that was here, it was like $94, something like that. And I said, you know, if we can get back up to somewhere, you know, a level that we had yesterday, maybe there would be something to talk about, right? But that never happened. So then we said, hey, why not just short the pre-market low, which was 88? So that was written on the sticky note. But you know what? Like, we sat here and we were watching, looking for something to trade, and it wasn't breaking VWAP. It didn't break VWAP basically for an hour right here. So I was like, you know what? Let's try it. It was working. Then it came back up, and let's try it again. We liked it so many times, we took 4 fills. You know, and then it just started to collapse, and there it goes. So, you know, tough trade for sure, because we had lost on it going short the last couple days, and so finally today it does go to the downside. And yeah, man, just happy to say it's obviously it's a really big trade. It's probably, for P&L wise, besides IPOs, this is going to be, you know, my biggest trade probably. Not ever, because there's been some closing trades and things like that, but just like as of straight, like what we show you guys here on the show, which all my strategies basically are what I show you on here. So that's why when I have bad days, it's like you can clearly see what I'm doing. But you know, today, it's a good day for silver shorts. And let's just see, I almost think it's almost time to step in and maybe buy some silver down here. I mean, I still like the idea of what silver is representing here as far as the industrial metal, but the problem is silver is abundance in this world, so I don't think it's ever going to be a supply constraint. But right now it was a demand side of things there. I do know people mentioning like that it's a little off price. China's one price, USA spot is the other price. But this is just a capitulation move. I'm going to get excited about Bitcoin when Bitcoin does a 30% move down like this too, because I said yesterday, like the meme stocks right now was silver, right? I mean, ZSL, SLV. We actually said this morning that, you know, record-wise, this is going to be #1 week, I would assume, for SLV. And that just adds it to today, right? And you can see really when all the volume came into this, they kind of let it fall, right? And then once it got down here to 70, we started seeing ZSL moving and everything like that. That's when it really got spicy. So we actually have the low of, pretty much the low of the day there. And then there's that 21 period break. So we really emptied it out, what we had left right there. So yeah, man, like feeling really good about everything there today. Silver, just great opportunity. Glad it was on the note. And thank you again for that super chat, right? I hope that, you know, some of my conviction and whatever really helped you with it. I'm going to call it back up there just so everybody can see it. But, you know, that's really, as we said, this is really what it's all about. And to make even this kind of money after 8 months is incredible. So, again, congratulations. Like we said, man, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but obviously today it was good. And I hope that a lot of you didn't get burned, because I feel like that's what happens. When silver goes up, it's like you're caught short. When silver goes down, you're caught long. But today we caught this one, silver, still holding a piece.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you know, like totally different styles. I think you've had multiple trades on it every single day. I've had one trade in silver every single day this week, with the exception I wasn't here on Monday. But what's been happening, and the only reason it was ZSL instead of SLV, was every single day in silver just waited for a mean revert on the 15-minute, and this time it never happened. Like, there was never a trend break, with the exception of this bottom, which obviously if you're involved in the other one, you're not gonna, like, I'm not gonna trade both of them at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. But this is the only time it did a mean reversion was at the low for a long trade. But if you're only tuning in now, what ended up happening is, where's 120? Let me reverse engineer it. Actually, it's gonna be easier to just look up at the SLV chart, and this is at 124. So right about here, see this candle, like this 15-minute where it's still hanging out at the bottom? Well, what ended up happening in ZSL, and I'll be repeating myself, is this is inverse related. So it ends up tanking 20% when silver might have moved 2. So it's like, so it should have moved 4% down, maybe 5%, and it went 20% down. Now, if you're sitting here and you see that happening, and you actually know that this is, like, it's just an inverse, all you have to do is wait to see them stop hitting the bid visually, and then when it happens, you just punch long. I got a partial fill. I didn't even get fill because the algos are swiping it once they realize it's going to, so it's actually not that easy to punch long. And then it was just one move. Like, one move, one trade. I doubt that's the kind of thing that happens again, but I'm going to say this now. If we ever see a situation where something like this is going this parabolic, maybe it's another commodity. Maybe it is a quantum name, but something, it could be one of the Bitcoin treasury names. But if it has a 2x inverse or 3x inverse, understand that this can happen because people are heavily trading the inverse as day traders and short-term traders more than they are trading the actual underlying. Therefore, if they start getting stopped out, that correlation can break, and when it does, it can be a huge opportunity, or it could be a death keel if that's the one that you're trading. That's the more important thing. If you were long this saying, yeah, but silver is still trending down, you would just be sitting there like, this is fine, this is fine. Well, it's blowing up around you. So you have to understand it's not automatic that it has to go up when silver's going down and vice versa. It can break because of the way people are trading it and how leveraged they are when they're doing it. Senator Warren requests position from Kevin.
Anyways, we have a new position here with Apple as Apple continues to make a move. We'll see if we can short this thing. Just noticing that we got a high there around 258, breaking through this 21-period moving average. So we're going to see if we can get some downside plays here for AAPL right now. All right, Sharif, what you got over there?
Let's talk about Tesla, up the biggest on the day in the world of Mag 7, up 4 and I was going to say 4 1/3, but it's on the way to 4.5 here. Climbing as SpaceX merger talks fuel Musk empire consolidation hopes, this article says. So what's happening here is it's widely speculated that before it IPOs, SpaceX may merge either with XAI or Tesla. This morning's look at the prediction markets had it more in favor of merging with XAI than Tesla. In any event, the market liking these merger talks to the tune of now 4 1/3, boys.
All right. What stock was that? Tesla. Okay. I mean, yeah. Thanks for leaving it to me here, I guess, because yeah, we got a big winner on Tesla, man. I mean, Tesla's a good day today. The only problem is that losing it early right there and then getting it back. You know, it's taking that first hit kind of sucked, but we had stayed with it there, and you know, we're sort of trying to alter some of our rules on what we're trying, not alter it, but like I guess alter is a good word, but just adjusted, try to get a little bit more efficient and less, risky with our positions. But we had to wait for Tesla. It came into the 200 period moving average there. We lost it a little bit early. I had written down today, again, just off the note. I mean, you guys can go grab this note every day. It's free and it's available on Twitter. But we had Tesla written down as a long. We just had to try to find the areas. And yeah, it's scary because as it's running against you, you're like, what are we doing? We had a good move first, then we dumped it, and then once it eventually took that 21 period, the 50 and the 200, and it all sort of matched up there, then that's when we sort of tried to blast this forward, and that's exactly what we wind up doing there. Hit that to the upside. A lot of clear outs here, 434. We're still in a very, very small piece. Wasn't sitting here for 440s, but now looking at the stop order I put in was 432 break. That never happened. Man, that was close to happening. So if that does break 432, we can get out of Tesla. But again, just another kind of stock that we know can do this. There's news about Tesla, and there it goes, man, up another 4.5%. It was on this sticky note. It's a great trade. We're in the money $25 on these two trades, so today is a good day, and there goes Tesla, man. I hope you guys are up on that name, and it's been a good one. So TSLA, I'd rather own this than pretty much any other automotive because this really isn't a focus on automotives anymore.
Yeah, I was going to be like, do we even count it as an automotive stock? Of course it absolutely is. I don't know who you'd also like. If you gun to head, General Motors has been okay. I think would probably be the answer to that question. But this is all about people wanting to get in to SpaceX. This is going to be. Until we know one way or another whether they would merge or this gets completely shot down, it's just some pie in the sky theory. I think there's going to be some runway for this to go. So obviously, this story is not over, I don't think, and it takes it firmly out. Two things happen. We're out of the penalty box because 420 held again, so it's got pretty distinct. It's got some really good lower highs or higher lows, I should say, that have been put in here. And this 420 is starting to turn into something again, which is psychologically a good level. But as I said, this morning I was talking about Destiny, which is up 5%. To me, if there's an X amount of dollars that want to go into SpaceX and they're moving over to Tesla, I would have expected this to be down because it trades at such a gigantic premium relative to its holdings. But for now, it's holding up pretty well. It seems like just people talking about SpaceX allows this one to be up. But what would I rather? Would I rather pay 2x the value to get half of this, which is in SpaceX, and a bunch of other stuff that it owns? Or let's say there's a 50-50 chance that you merge with Tesla, and then it's 1-to-1. I don't know, that gives you a 25% chance of getting a fair value at SpaceX. And even if it doesn't happen, you get to own Tesla, which you might like. So to me, I would just play this as we'll just allocate more to Tesla, and that's a pretty fair bet. Because then maybe I get into SpaceX without having to pay some crazy IPO price. Maybe. It's not a lock that it happens, but it's a fair enough bet because the average investor has no other way to get into the play.
All right, guys, let's talk about SoFi. I mean, it started off well for SoFi, reporting earnings in the morning, and off the closing print from yesterday to the pre-market high, we were up about 8%, but that's all ended. Since the pre-market high to the current low, we are down 13.3%, despite beating on the top and bottom line, adding another million users, bringing the total users now to about 13 million and change, introducing new products, really trying to diversify away from student loans. But tough day in the market. SoFi down 6.16.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would pop before it went to the downside. I know I had 27 written down. It had already made the 2640 top in the pre-market, so this had kind of already happened, and I was sort of thinking out into this area. Go to this lower high and then pop and fade, because regardless of how good SoFi's reports or numbers have been at times, it's tended to have sell events the day after. So ultimately, it's done it again. I wouldn't be necessarily completely panicking about it. We can go to a higher time frame chart in a second. But there was one trend break chance for me. Again, if I see something trending down like this, I'm going to wait for it to get to a somewhat key level. And it got to a somewhat key level of 23. It broke the trend. There's the prior bar. It went out. It never even attempted to go. That's how weak it's been, unfortunately, for SoFi. That said, on the daily, it is at a major level, that 200-period moving average. If you go out to a higher time frame, you're going to probably see that closer to 21, like on a weekly chart. You're going to look to see that this is actually more significant. Give it the 3-day rule. I think it was a great quarter. There's no way you can look at this. This was also true of Microsoft in a lot of ways, and Apple as well. There's no way you can really look at the fundamentals and say that this was a bad quarter for them. But this is typical SoFi. It's done it before and then made fresh highs if you wait a couple of weeks.
All right, just covering a little bit more silver here at 75 flat because like you're down into the 50 period again. So we kind of, liked that 77 there for a short. I mean, it does come right back up into that area and then falls off again. So something there. Okay, like SoFi, obviously a complete disaster for me today. I mean, we were trying to go long there. We just kept on fighting it. So I think we just chalked this one up to like, we tried right there on the 21 period break, didn't work. And then we tried again there and didn't work. And so we should have we didn't really take too many shots at it, but I was just thinking like maybe even after that time, the second time, like the first time coming back in, I mean, I wanted this long. We had wrote down $25, so I was pretty happy taking that on this move down. So I didn't mind that. I mean, this is why we dumped it out. I mean, it breaks that 24.50, which was yesterday's closing price. And I, thought that if we were up 7% or whatever we were in the pre-market and we gave it all the way back, then that was probably a bad sign. And that's where we could have easily gone away from it. And then trying it there on the way back up, I think that's valid. And so I'm completely fine with that. Like losing on that trade, which would have been me getting out right there is fine. But then like trying again there and then trying again there, like two bad attempts that we didn't really it didn't work the first time it broke the 21, didn't work the second, it didn't work the third. So 0 for 1 probably should have been it, especially after losing right there. So yeah, man, feather in the cap today on a learning side of things. But yeah, SoFi just down 13% from its highs is kind of crazy talk on what I thought was a decent quarter. So staying away for now on SoFi until something happens. And I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe a day 3 play off earnings. So that's SoFi. Let's go talk about the next.
There hasn't been a bank that's performed the way we want to see based on.
Well, I think wasn't Goldman good and Morgan.
Okay, that's fair. Goldman and Morgan were fine, but outside of that,
not just a pretty face. Sharif.
I love Morgan.
All right, guys, let's talk about NView Medical, otherwise known by its ticker as Feed. We had the CEO on yesterday with Adara to announce a deal that sees U.S. distribution of over-the-counter reusable ENFit syringe line hitting the markets today. A little profit-taking, boys, on FEED, despite the nice pop there in the pre-market into new local highs, taking out $6, down 20, almost, and 0.75%.
At some point, it had to come a little bit undone. 3 up. There's something called the for gappers, like the 3-day rule, which you'll probably hear. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you haven't heard this before, but often day traders will talk about this, where you have like a small cap gapper. Doesn't matter the catalyst, but if you get parabolic, something that's not doing much, and then you get day 1, day 2, and then day 3, once it fails the prior day high. It's like short the living, out of it is something that there's a lot of traders, at least I've heard, and you see them online also talking about it. So once it was back underneath the $5 level, it kind of fit that parameter, 1, 2, day 3, and then once it's behind that prior high, then you get a bit of a cascade. That being said, it's still, this was a $1 stock at the beginning of the week, so it's still up almost 3x. From there. But this is somewhat typical of parabolic runners. And the bigger lesson is, even when it's a good story, and even when it looks incredibly strong, it's very typical that you are going to have these kinds of reversal type days. So like a day where it doesn't just give it all back, but it gives, I'm talking about like the gains from the morning. It might give it all back and then some. And that's what's happening in Feed. And the early money is usually the best money. Like if there's a good story and you can grab something that was been barcoding at $1 and you can have it at $1.25, sniff that one out. Because that's there's a huge value, or $1.40 or something like that. Because then you're risking 25, 30, 40, maybe 50% on something that can give you a 2, 3, 4x on a bit of a swing. And then if this happens, you might have 10% on, and you're just holding for the dream. But you got to be involved in these a little bit earlier. And then when you're playing momentum, make sure you have some kind of a stop.
Is Bitcoin next on there, Sharif? Okay, so I mean, just right now, like IBIT, and I only asked because if it was there, I didn't want to talk about it. But yeah, just like what a reversal there on IBIT, you know, big time. Like they really, and again, it just goes back to what I was saying about the meme stuff, right? Like when silver can get going, we've seen Bitcoin get going again, and there it goes, like right back to the upside there as we take out some of those key levels for Bitcoin, like that high of the day. That was a great little break trade there. But I just want to note to everybody that we are starting to turn around a little bit, which is why I want to talk about it. Potential top, there was a potential top there. It did fall back in. We right now are trying to break that 21 period MA. So watch out, making a little bit of a move back in for IBIT. So if you're on this rocket ship today, well, in the last hour, then you know, good for you, and just watch out there. Ethereum, again, like a monster play to the upside again, same kind of way, right? Like as soon as silver started turning around, you do see Ethereum going back up to the upside there. So it's just watch the market. The market's not really playing the same kind of games, but Ethereum also trying to break this 21 period moving average. So I'm just sending out these warnings because it does look like maybe it might be slowing down on the top side here of crypto. I don't have a trade on or anything like that, but I just wanted to say, like, what a great move up. Congratulations to anybody that's had that. But it does, to me, look like we might be failing at some of those tops. But
just quickly,
yeah, go.
That ELPW.
Yeah, that like halted like what, 1 million times?
Okay, never mind. It's next, so it's.
I didn't even know about that one. That one looks crazy.
These are ridiculous.
Another 1,000+ % winner. That's the second day in a row. We had that T whatever yesterday. Today it is ELPW, which is, of course, who doesn't know this company? Elong Power Holdings, and there's really no fundamental reason why this is moving up, but I should let you know that they did get the notice of effectiveness yesterday from the SEC, which means that it green lights their registration statement for a new offering of securities, and while that typically does mean dilution, it is bullish in the sense that they were able to meet rigorous regulatory hurdles to move forward with the capital raising. I suspect that we're moving up for other reasons. Gentlemen, up 1,415%, 670 high, halted down at 652.
Okay, so there's so many of these that come by that I literally don't remember the ticker that did this yesterday. You guys will probably remember. It was it began with a T. TLGC? TLGC, is that what it was? Or whatever the heck it was. But oftentimes when you have moves like this on one stock, just something random, it could be, sometimes it's in the same space, other times it just also happens to be a penny stock that gets going. And as we say, getting in early, this is the one time where I would actually make an argument there was probably a somewhat reasonable trade. Had this, almost certainly, this is probably blocked here, or at least it was blocked for most of the morning at Real Trading. Where, yeah, you can have it early when it's not going in the halt fest, or grab the first halt, which is often, if you think something is going to be a halt fest, oftentimes traders, I know this was the case during the funware DWAC kind of thing, the play would be, I'm not trying to play this on the third or fourth halt to the upside where you can get rinsed, just take the first halt long. Because that way you can risk it to like the one support it has, and if it goes absolutely crazy, you have some kind of a reasonable out where it's not complete utter nonsense. Like if you buy it up here and it doesn't work at 350, you're probably screwed. But there was another long off $1 apparently. Like this, if you were looking at this right when we came off air in the morning, and at the beginning of the midday, it did this halt down, reopen, and it reopened at $1.09, flashed to 96 cents, and then immediately came back up and reclaimed the dollar.
Those names.
Like if you're, the thing about that trade, you literally would have to be staring it down at that $1 level. The second you see it go under and reclaim, you're just trying to punch long and throw a stop at 95 cents. And then if it goes, you're like, hey, fantastic, I'm long 105 with a 10-cent stop. And if you don't get it, you don't get it. But if you grab one of those, well, there you go. If you're a small cap trader, that's your month. On ELPW, the current tap is $7.58. And it's halted at 652, and it's probably halted 40 times today. It'll more than likely halt, 10 times this afternoon. And so I'll remind everybody now, if it halts in the last 10 minutes, it won't be 5 minutes. It's automatically 4 o'clock is the open. If it halts between 3:50 and 4 o'clock, the 5-minute thing doesn't matter during that time period.
Okay, I just wanted to, The imbalances look pretty decent right now early on some names.
Those are two bios.
Yeah. So two. Okay, I was going to say there has to be something and then BMY, but I just wanted to look to see if there was any SLV, but there's nothing on here right now. But there's Bristol Myers. Yeah. Look, in a name that we have like a little Halt scanner here that shows like all the halts that have been happening. There's that EPLW, so it's been a bunch of times. And I actually wanted to look here. Oh, maybe this doesn't show it does show AM names. Okay, so TCGL actually hasn't halted in an hour. It's not really moving at all. I mean, although there's 800,000 shares of volume, this is another one of those names that millions were made overnight if you held the short, because this name got to $500 overnight and then opened up today down at, that was last night there, 40.40, gets up to 400 or 500. My chart stopped there, and then, we made that another rip. Like if you just went long this at the open, you almost doubled yourself up to 360, but this is not the kind of trade that we'll be focusing here on the show, but I just wanted to show everybody that this name continues to go a little lower. And if you were in this yesterday, hopefully you're really not in it today, and if you are, it just seems like it's sleeping right now, so watch out for TCGL. So that's just another little bit of a look there. But all right, it's 2:35, and it's time for Super Chats. All right, what's up, KCat67? What's up, KCat? 6-7. Which chart frame do you use when choosing moving average? For price bounce. So that's part of the thing that I'm trying to figure out. I mean, on SoFi here, and it's oopsies. Why do I always click on that first one? It's always Blue Ocean, I guess. Alphabetical with the. So if you see on here, you see like .NQ, that's going to be Nasdaq, and then if we see a New York name, .AM, and then something like silver.am here, but. This is a 1 minute chart. So the main thing, and then the thing that I always tweet out and everything like that is just a 1 minute chart. And I'm trying to use this 21 period, but obviously it didn't work right there on SoFi. But if you're looking at it on silver and other names like that, you can see it basically follows this all the way down. And then it breaks it here pretty decently, but then it comes right back, and then there's that last sort of break on it. So, we get out some on that first break. We're short, right? So it's kind of the same thing as what you're talking about. How can you try to figure out trend changes? Well, I got out a little bit there, and then it went back down. So I was like, okay. So we took some out at the very lows. I mean, we have a 69.90 print. And then it breaks there, and we get out again at 72 on the next breakup, right? And so I'm trying to find that. I think it's good for reversions. I don't know if it's good for playing it right now. If it breaks below, I don't know if it's any good, but I like it to sort of see that when the momentum's up. But I need to pair it with something else, because it does give a lot of false signals. Maybe I need to extend the line a little bit, and that's something that I have to work on. So that's what I'm trying to do, and it's a great question, and that's the key, right? When you figure out something that works, you should keep on doing it. And I mean, even on here on IBIT, as we look over here on IBIT, it's the same kind of a story. It's really choppy in here, but then when it trends, right, and then you get the consolidation around this 21 period, and then it goes. So that's kind of why I was just talking about right now. This is a nice move. Oh, I thought someone was wrong with my mic again. It's a Sharif. Anyways, back down in right there. So now I'm trying to think to myself, all right, now this is a big move up. So this 21 period on the break below, which is why I just said, look at it hold, a clean break below. It might be a combination between this and the 50 period breaking. But obviously if the 21 breaks, then so will the 50, right? So anyways, that's what I'm doing. It's been working, but it's kind of a new kind of a thing for me. So, or what I was also thinking about that I try to use, and you just don't get as many actionable trades off of it, is just that this is the 200 period moving average, on a 5 minute chart. So this one gives you more of you would have no trades on IBIT today, but right now. And I don't even know why this isn't extending further, but so I'm not even sure it's right. But right into there, 40. So now you're finally starting to get, hey, maybe the move is trying to slow down at this level, but a lot of these things have to be back tested and all that kind of stuff.
I think it's probably you just zoom out. Well, I think I think the last point's kind of the big thing. As long as you test it out, to figure out what works for you. It's always a work in progress. It's a good, but it's when you're trying to figure out where to take stuff out for profit on a reversion and that kind of thing. It's always going to be a work in progress, because the one stock is going to be different from another, and vice versa, and et cetera. that goes on and on. I saw a couple of questions. We're all done the rundown now. Okay. I saw a couple people asking about this morning about AppLovin. You know, I hadn't looked at this chart today. Like I knew it was having a bad day, and we know it's been a little bit bad since the top. But this doesn't look good at all for App. And we talk about the 200 period SMA to death as an important level for long-term on stocks. But then you throw in the fact that look at the reversal it had at 500 back in November. Look at the breakout it had off of 500 back in September of last year. Look at the resistance it had at the beginning of last year at the 500 level. So not only is it breaking the 200 period moving average, it's also losing a major level. And then today it's doing it in a very spectacular fashion. People keep talking about...
Oh, AppLovin again?
Yeah, I know. It seems like we're talking about this in a negative context at least once a week, it seems. But this is as bad as it's been. And there's a few stocks that have been like this, where there's a few things that have had like their worst week in however long time, whether it's like silver one day or Microsoft another day, AppLovin here. Dara?
I was going to say, too, it's worth noting that short report that there was going to be from Capital Watch, they also teased there's like going to be 9 more updates or something. So with AppLovin, the worst may not be over. And we know between Rich Tech and, of course, AppLovin, but also even Carvana, kind of short report season right now, it feels like. So one kind of interesting thing there, they did warn there's going to be more short reports. If you want to take that seriously or not, up to you. But
the only reason I'm making a screw face right now is because you're talking about there's going to be 9 updates. So you have enough to say about why you think this company should be down at whatever price they think. I haven't read the short report. Sometimes they tell you what they think it's worth. Sometimes they just say it's overvalued. So I don't know where they're saying it's going to go down to. But they have enough for 9 more updates, allegedly, but they're not telling you. That means they know there's more, but we're just going to keep it to ourselves until we need a chance to get the stock to go down. Like, what do we like? Because I don't have anything against short sellers, because it's like, okay, well, it's not illegal what you're doing, and you're putting your money where your mouth is by shorting a stock. The timing of when the report usually comes out, you can muddle with the ethics of that a little bit. But this whole, we've got 9 more updates coming on this one. Stay tuned, everybody. Like, no, if you think there's something that they're doing wrong, or maybe an accounting issue, or overstating this, or blah, 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 it would just seem right that you would tell people now if you actually gave a damn. But no, it's about making money, so that's how they make their money. They got to do what they got to do. But like, come on. It's got to grind your gears a little bit if it's actually true. Or maybe they have nothing else to say. Maybe they actually don't have anything, and like Adara said, it's just rumored. Is what it is. What is actually causing jockey? Okay, just first off, there was every time that there's a bounce in Intel, I'm just looking for a reversion of some sorts that I can get into. So this was the first one. It did a really small one off of VWAP. If it bounces again, I'll try it and then look for the low of the day. By the way, Intel could get down to that prior high, like this 44, 45.
I like Intel. I think there's Intel. I mean, again, talking about trading stocks that have reasons.
And well, plus too, like this is a stock that, I don't know, like
short IBIT.
Yeah, on the quarter, it's just been the quarter that they have and the reaction to it has been absolutely insane. I think the volatility on Intel is not going anywhere. Like the days of Intel, percentage-wise, moving more than something like an NVIDIA, I think we've got that going on for a while. Maybe at least until NVIDIA earnings. It's not the average. It's not Intel of old. Like the stock is just moving on an average day 3, 4, 5% sometimes.
Yeah, Intel is. We're still a ways away from NVIDIA earnings. All right, maybe AMD will be exciting. Well, you know what? We had AMD written down as the short today, and we probably should have had that. But when does AMD report? In 4 days. Wow, Tuesday for Advanced Micro Devices. Okay. Calm down, Sean. We do have IBIT right here short, so we did take it on that break. You know, again, looks like we based out a little bit at the top side here, so a little bit of resistance up here at $48, but either way, maybe 84.5 on Bitcoin. It comes back in. We let it fall through the 50 period. We take a fill there, so we got to have actually 20% there. We'll see if it wants to continue on. I think this little area right here, 47.40 or so, that, you know, a pause for concern if we do get into there. I mean, that would be wicked awesome if it gets into there. So wicked awesome. Shout out to my Massachusetts people. All right, 47. Yeah, okay, we're just gonna watch out for that. All right, silver. So Tesla's going upside, man. This is gonna be a good one. Yeah, Tesla, let's go. I think 440. You know, we can get an offer there. We could put $4 more on this trade, then let's go. We're now $24 in the money now on all these trades, but silver's trying to make a move higher. We did do a good job getting out right there. Maybe the ultimate turnaround spot, of course, is a break of VWAP. I mean, that's why we went short, but really happy with where we wound up covering it. Although now look, like now VWAP is actually right where all these covers took place. So to have maybe taken this trade at VWAP and then not taking all these outs, like, look, we wrote down once 88 breaks, there's going to be a problem, and it was. We take one fill basically every dollar and a little bit on the way down. Then we really started getting out ahead of that $80 mark, and then all of a sudden it collapsed. But it looks like maybe we used the 200 period. That's been a good turnaround story for us. It's holding the 50 right here. Awesome. So when it came back in, we're able to exit out of more of our trade right there on SLV. But as I already said it, man, like, for me personally, it's going to be, you know, one of the bigger P&L trades that I've made outside of, like I said, outside of the IPOs, right? And so, but there's a nice move to the downside on SLV today, and we're going to watch out for that still into the close, and gold. There. Gold had this similar move, obviously not as dramatic. It also didn't have the same dramatic move higher. So that's pretty respectable move down for gold. So I actually think in a long-term portfolio, gold is going to most likely serve you better. I mean, again, not a prediction by me, but just what I'm thinking about what gold means to people's portfolios as more of a hedge and maybe more of a hold forever type of thing. While silver obviously seems to be more of a trading vessel than gold. But yeah, I would be it's too bad because down there was when you have to buy GLD. But if we can ever get back into this like 430 lows, I think we'll add to our gold position and maybe just average into it there as well. And yeah, my wife right now is saying that we need to have some Beetlejuice songs for Catherine O'Hara tonight, O'Hara, and then there's a few other songs, some Harry Belafonte songs apparently.
Well, that is from Beetlejuice.
Yeah, that's the one. And then it's called Jump in Line, I think it's called. Shake, Sonora. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's Harry Belafonte there. So I'll play some of that, but sad there. And that just came up because we got a super chat here from Dave, and Catherine O'Hara passed away. I don't know if, yeah, Darren. I heard of Darren. I know, she's so great, and Schitt's Creek is amazing and everything. She's such a great character actor. There's no doubt about that, but here we go. Another amazing Canadian, obviously. Shout out to my guy. One of the best shows on Apple that I've seen anyways. I think it's called The Director. All right, so right there, fun fact, your Canadian kin, yes, Seth Rogen came up with a Super Bowl character. Is that Super Bowl you mean?
Super bad.
Oh, Super bad, okay.
Sports fans, he's going to be
I'm in Super Bowl mode right now because I didn't read the rest of it. Right, Super bad is amazing. McLovin, yeah, okay, good. NVIDIA, he came up with that? All right. NVIDIA. Oh, he co-wrote Superbad. Well, yeah, perfect. I mean, Seth Rogen is awesome. And what's his name? Look for dips. So just that, and then the NVIDIA talk. So okay, look for dips to buy before 225. So that's probably the earnings. You've done work, obviously, David. So we want to thank you for bringing that up.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be. That's my daughter Sarah's birthday.
Oh, okay, nice. Happy birthday.
It's the weirdest lineup because she has she's got like an assembly at school that day. And
nice.
She's traveling, so it's her birthday. And my wife's out of the country, so like I've already like booked it off so that she's not. I don't want like babysitter in the morning and that stuff, and then someone's got to be there for the presentation. It's always but if they report, then it's aftermarket, which is kind of annoying because then I have to miss that.
Who cares? Yeah, just miss the day.
But
it doesn't matter.
It's hilarious because I seem to, for whatever reason, always miss. I think it's for at least one quarter a year. I'm not here on one of the NVIDIA earnings days. No, but I believe I am absolutely shocked that NVIDIA is not doing better after what we heard from the hyperscalers so far. It's been in like an all systems go for NVIDIA, and then we keep fretting about this whole like China chip thing. Are we or are we not? Like it just can't seem to get going. There's a lot of accumulation in this range, which is good. I mean, you're not going to complain when it's like very, very slowly stair-stepping to the upside. That's fine. But yeah, again, we got massive, massive spending from both Meta and Microsoft, and it doesn't seem to be doing enough for NVIDIA. It just might be illogical, but lots of things have seemed illogical. Look at the chart of SLV.
Yeah, the worst is I just found out, like, I hope they don't IPO SpaceX on Elon's birthday because I have hockey in Vermont, so I don't know if that's going to be. I hope they merge. Oh my God,
I'd rather. Well, if you're a Tesla shareholder, you're obviously hoping for a merge over the IPO.
Yeah,
I guess just it benefits all of us.
100%. All right, Adair, what you got for us?
What I have here, guys, is GME, and I kind of waited a bit to mention this too because I saw these headlines circulating, and I want to just provide some clarification. So you might be seeing a headline right now saying that Ryan Cohen, CEO of GameStop, said to CNBC that the company is eyeing, quote, a very, very, very big acquisition. Here's the thing. He already said this in an interview to Wall Street Journal that was published and was actually featured on our watch list. So I just want to let you guys know, you might be seeing this headline circulating around. It's not new, which is why GME is not really reacting, but CNBC apparently doing their own interview with Ryan Cohen and re-reporting stuff we already knew. So just a heads up, if you are seeing this headline, it is not brand new information. And with that, I'll send you over, talking about famous Canadians, RIP Catherine O'Hara, and let's send over to other famous Canadians, Sean and Neil.
Yeah, I wish. Savvy Canadian traders looking, thank you, Adair, to boost their exposure can now tap into the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 with Beta Pro 3 times daily levered ETFs featuring, and you know this by now, built-in FX hedging, maybe the most important part. This aims to amplify short-term market moves while minimizing the impact of currency swings. As we know, that US dollar, whether you're feeling bullish or bearish, these ETFs are built for active day traders and ready to take on the market. Read the full risk disclosure in the prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. All right, we did get a bunch more super chats, so I don't want to ignore those. So I'm just going to call them up. Normally Andre will do this, but I think we've missed a couple. So let me go back and get them. All right, we'll start in order of when we receive them.
Oh, there it is.
So there it is right here. I don't think we've talked about this one. Adit. Yeah, forget it. Okay, you have yeah, maybe S. Anyways, you have an SLV position at $100 for 30K. I guess $30,000. I guess is your position. So value worth. Look, I mean, you know, my answer would be like you gotta. I feel like you gotta take some profits at some point. I mean, I don't know what this Chinese market's going to do over the weekend to silver or anything like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, you're not going to get days like this, obviously, every day. Silver's going to remain volatile, but does it have the opportunity to get right back up to the upside? I mean, I think it does, right? I mean, you could crawl up 3 or 4% every day next week, and all of a sudden this move is sort of dwarfed again. So I don't know if you actually have the actual position or options or whatever, but there isn't also a thing playing in today that I don't think we've talked too much about, and that's just that it's Friday.
Out of curiosity, are we assuming it's a short position?
I have no idea, but if it's a long position, then the guy's shit out of luck at this point.
Yeah, I think.
But
yeah.
If you're long, then yeah, I mean, you sent a super chat 10 minutes ago, so. But I was just going to say, if you're short or long, it doesn't really matter. To me, it's. You've already had this move, so what I would have done is just wait for this kind of volume again, and if you see that, then that would be an indication. So if we do flush down on kind of big time volume, look for that, but right now it's kind of all quiet, right? And when all's quiet, we've said this a couple times, the market will tend to inch upwards when we get a little quiet. So I just feel like right now, just letting it settle down, but if, I took the short on VWAP. So if you wanted to cover on VWAP, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. So my VWAP's at $81. So if that's your play, great. If you're long, then long, as Neil had mentioned, then if you're long at $100, covering at 82, I know that would suck and that would be like a 20% hit. But sometimes taking a hit is not the end of the world. No. And maybe you want to do that.
Given how much it's moved, I would kind of imagine that if you were swinging something that has moved this much, that 10, 20, 30% is maybe in the range of what you were looking for. That being said, like it's difficult to want to get out when you happen to get caught in one of these like parabolic down moves. And again, that would be assuming that you're long. If you're short, I mean, whatever, you ring the register once and holding on for some of the dream would make some sense. But just understand that we've seen like really crazy dead cat bounces sometimes, where like if you don't have the absolute top, like, you can be back in the 90s, go crazy, and it could still end up lower. Like, I don't know anything that will unwind it exactly like this, but SMCI is not a horrible example. It just wasn't quite as parabolic. Yeah, there's nothing that's exactly the same way. But if you are long, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet. Just while we're on the topic, I know you're mentioning the volume weighted average price. ZSL. If I'm showing you ZSL and I say SLV, you guys understand. I'm just mixing it up. ZSL, which is an inverse, it's on the other side of the volume weighted average price. And it consolidated here for a while as support. Now it's looking like a little bit of resistance. So I'm kind of thinking the play off the 225 is going to make some sense as a potential short just for the afternoon. Like, we're almost into power hour here. I think it's going to be worth checking back in on these imbalances on the off chance that we see whether it's SLV or ZSL show up here or any of the other metal ones. There's so much volatility that maybe we see some action on those bad boys. Nokia, you don't usually see that on the early look. It is a Friday, so sometimes you just get imbalances that are bigger in general than anything else. There was one more super chat, I thought. Oh, yeah, here it is, because it was about Palantir on Monday.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I did see it. What does my gut tell me? Bad. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I think the quarter is going to be fantastic, and the stock's going to sell off. I mean, we've already seen that happen again. The only stock that's been rewarded for anything earnings-wise has been Meta, right? I mean, Meta was rewarded for a big spend, and they're getting hit today, obviously down as well. Like, Meta's down, actually. Obviously, that earnings was great. I mean, we've already seen a nice move back-to-back days there, and now today on day 2 or day 3. Meta reported, Wednesday night, right? Wednesday, Thursday. So,
Wednesday, Thursday.
So this is day 2. So, yesterday it kind of held up okay. And then, obviously, because they reported Wednesday night, so that was day 1, nice move. And then now you're starting to pull back a little bit, and they rewarded the CapEx spend. That's not going to be anything for Palantir, right? What you're looking for is extended out margins. You're looking for... I mean, the defense contracts are there, right? The government contracts are here. Those are going to be sticky. What you're looking for is what do they think about moving forward for Palantir? Do they see more contracts coming? Are they maybe diversifying into different spaces? We talked about it the other day. They're getting into the equestrian space right now to analyze horse movements and all that kind of stuff, right? So I do think there's a lot involved here with Foundry and a lot of what they can do with the data that you provide to them. But at the same time, it's tough to think positively about the name when it's really fallen. Like, this was 195, so you go from 195 down to where we are today. It's down 24%, in just a matter of a month. So I think it's primed to do something, but I can't say that like this is going to absolutely shoot the moon. I mean, predict like you asked for Palantir for Monday. I was reading shoot the moon, but it's tough. It's a kind of a fool's game to sit here and try to predict what stocks are going to do on earnings. But I like the business. I like the company. Costco was hit pretty good when everybody was focused on valuation for a minute. And then they kind of got right with themselves and said, you know what? Costco's too good of a company to be down here. And then this happened. So to think that Palantir can't get right back up to 200 again, that's also a foolish statement. So I would just say sit on your hands, man. I would not, if this earnings season has taught us anything, who thought Microsoft would have the worst day in 6 years? And who thought Intel would be down 20% the very next day off earnings? Yep. So it's just like to sit there and try to predict what some of these stocks are going to do does seem a little overzealous.
I thought Lamb had one of the best quarters out there, and it went like 4% up, and I'm like, what is going on here?
So,
that's like a double digit most times. It's just it's weird. But there's a good question, and I'm glad this got asked. Ronak in the chat. Do you actually think silver and gold deserve this much pullback just for Fed chair news, which if true would only take place in June, not February? Sometimes, okay, no. Does it deserve 25% down just because of that? Probably not. I don't think so. But it doesn't matter. Like, sometimes it's just about, it's almost like you're looking for an excuse for it to pull back. Like this was coming at some point, and this just so happened to be the event that caused it. Right? So then whatever happens is, so there's going to be a crazy pullback day, and then when it happens, you're just like, okay, what's the small thing that caused it to happen? Like I don't even remember what caused it. It was that one crazy flash crash years ago. And I don't remember it fully, but I remember there was something happening that day where we were in a downward trending market and everything was feeling pretty negative. It was something that had happened overnight. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then all of a sudden in the middle of that day, like lunchtime or like at 1 o'clock, everything was kind of weak and then something was a straw that broke the camel's back. And then everyone's searching for the reason it happened. Well, there's a lot of technical BS as to why it happened and maybe algo trading and the way market making was done and yada, yada, yada. But it was just looking for an excuse. And then this happened to be the catalyst that got the ball rolling. And then once it started, the unwind was nasty. You have to consider that as this was going up, everyone's portfolio values were going way up because they're up a ton. And then you can borrow and leverage more against it, which often happens. And then it just makes it even nastier if the unwind comes in. Like it gets perpetually more risky the higher it goes because everyone's obsessed with leverage these days. And now we are into power hour.
Yeah.
So I'm taking this one into VWAP. I have the front end, I think, of the trade. Well, obviously, because it just popped off 215. So I kind of feel like I'm going to give it to, like, I don't know, like the 27. I think I have 27 written down. Or actually, you don't write it down. You put an actual stop in. I'm going to move it to 28. I don't know why on the Amex I have one of my stop keys different than when it's on the New York. But I should have had this on the other end of the trade. I don't like the front end. I like the back end. See what I mean? Front end, back end would be on the way back down. But the best example of it is this here. That's the back end of a trade. That's the back end of a trade. So I'm just going to look at ZSL and wait for a better entry point. ZSL, Neil. ZSL and wait for a better entry point. Like it just ticked up, it just challenged VWAP, but I kind of got it on the front end of the trade. Let's let it make a move and let it try to come back and then jump into the trade. I just heard some small cap making some moves.
Yeah, it's a special cash dividend, I heard.
You said something else about what stock special cash? What was that?
We'll find it out. All right, so just a quick little update. Thank you so much, Barkad and Ani. Yeah, man. That's what it's doing, man, $21. I mean, we actually have those fills. I want to talk, let me remove that. I wanted to talk about SLV just really quick because it just did make another move. So we're taking another move out right now on silver. So we actually, there's my fill right there. And then we actually have a 69, sorry, we don't have a 69 fill. We have a 70.25 fill as well. And there it comes right back down. I just want to show you, like, we have to slap a fail on this one. I'll flush out the toilet. Can't find the fail one right now. Because look what just happened. Like, we got stopped out. This is how, honestly, like, the month has gone, to be honest with you. Like, check out that out right there on that short. Short, out a little bit, average into it. The thing freaking tanks. But 1 minute or 2 minutes after I get that, it runs that stop right there. It makes a new high of the day. So, you know, we did get a nice little, it didn't, I guess, I mean, this can't all be me. I didn't have 187,000 shares, but that was a big volume there. I only had 87,000. That was a big, I don't know if people keep taking me seriously there, but that's a big volume spike on that. It's not even that significant, but that was sort of, it looks like others might have gotten flattened on that as well, but we're putting it back in now, and we'll see if it breaks. Again, now officially you get that cross. So maybe that's what we're looking for. Like I said, man, it's just, this is what trading's all about. You got to try to dig until you find, you know, what's working. And, you know, for right now, we'll put another bid here at 65. We'll take that fill. We'll put another bid at 61s, and we'll hopefully watch this thing fall back down. We've actually almost made it. You know, this was only like a 6 or 7 cent hit. It just sucks that it happened. So we'll wait to see if this can fall back down in. Again, I think we're either, I don't know who we're going to, but it's definitely not me. Let's go over to Adara.
I looked into that special cash dividend. I found the ticker. It's TVGN, I believe, as far as I can tell. TVGN. This looks like the special cash dividend stock. This is actually a penny stock, so it's about 34 cents right now. In the meantime, though, let's go over to Neil.
Yes, sir, everybody, because when you're a trader, at some point, you've been trading maybe stocks, options, or futures, and then you get blindsided. Just look at the move in silver and some of the leverage that's going on with that. So it's not always your fault. Large funds are building huge positions in the options market well before the actual trading on what you're looking at is going to react. So sometimes to gain an edge in today's markets, you have to do something different. And Spot Gamma's daily Flow Patrol report reveals where the big money's positioned, so you can identify stocks building momentum ahead of those major price moves. And to get 2 free weeks of Spot Gamma's Flow Patrol, scan the QR code you see right on the screen in front of you and go behind the curtain to see what the professionals see. Oh, it's double actually. QR code was in 2 places at once. Love that in there.
Yeah.
Mr. Slaborn.
Can't scan it enough times.
I just saw in the chat someone saying they're buying AMC.
What am I Oh, nothing.
Why do we still talk about AMC? It's a
AMC's
weird
been
one.
too diluted.
Why do we like AMC? I don't get it. What's weird to me about the AMC GameStop thing is that you literally will stare the face of other things that are squeezing. Like when Carvana's falling apart now, but when that was squeezing, when silver's been squeezing, and there's all these other momentum plays out there where really, if you're trying to YOLO, like there's plenty of places you can do it. And then you've got AMC, which at some point might be a gorgeous trade off the $1 level. So that's coming in, which I'm usually a pretty big fan of. If something really big or popular gets down to that dollar, because remember, you're going to want to defend the dollar level if you're AMC, or you're going to have to reverse split. So I think that could be something if it gets down there for some kind of a trade. But like it's crazy. Every time we look at this every few weeks because someone brings it up, and it just keeps on getting worse and worse. But I think there's probably some kind of a trade down at $1 if and when it does get there. I mean, it probably gets there, to be honest with you, but I don't see any reason why it's not going to. I think you wait till it happens. So in terms of waiting for the back end of the trade, see, there's your topping tail candle, which often wicks you out, and then I want to try to jump back into it. I have zero expectation that ZSL is going to be able to do what it did off of VWAP the first time. If you're just tuning in now, essentially, my guess is somebody got flattened and caused other people to get flattened and other people to get flattened. And then while silver was kind of moving, ZSL went crazy. That's why there was a crazy long off of the volume weighted average price. That was a disconnect between it and the underlying. Like, it had been doing, like there was some volatility in here, but $4 on SLV is 5%.
Oh, shit.
And the other went 20%. And so that was kind of one of those like, oh, if you see it happen, just go long. You probably could have hedged. Really, if you're really quick about it, you'd go long ZSL at that moment. I would have punched short in SLV. But at the time, I was like, nah, just go long ZSL. Just get the one you can.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, man, for me personally, the biggest trade P&L wise that I've had on an actual trade here, other than, and I keep saying it, other than the IPOs today on SLV. So that's a good one. But yeah, there's the get back the hell into IBIT. And now we're positive on the name. Sometimes you've got to, like, this is, I think, in my early days, in my young days, 5 years ago or so when we started, sometimes you look down and I'd have like 5 or 6 positions or something like that. But right now it's like trying to focus, trying to find those plays, trying to make sure that what they look like is good enough, to put on. And there it goes. So we stuck with it. We did, we took an L there. And I think that's the one thing that our show, well, we give you lots of things, but the one thing that we try to focus on the most is just to, show you, discuss why we're in, what's been going on. And if we lose, we, no problem talking about it. And if we win, obviously no problem talking about it. But there it goes to the downside right now for IBIT. So just again, breaking through the 21, breaking through the 50. But more importantly, it was just trying to look for a trend reversal. So we got that one there. All right, so just on silver, this is that trade that I was talking about, and it helps to be biased one way. We were very, very much biased short. We wrote that down on the note this morning. So at 8 a.m., you would have seen that I was mentioning 100, and then we mentioned 88 break there. And I was just getting a little frustrated because it wasn't breaking 88, and it was like an hour, almost 2 hours in, and we just kept on, hitting VWAP and downside, right? And I actually tagged, a good friend of the show and a good friend of mine, I won't say good, but obviously in the business good, Brian Shannon, and it was right here. Like if you guys are following, like this is the tag right here. 4 hours ago, I just started the position. And I was like, started the short here on SLV off VWAP. Thanks to Alpha Trends there. And just nice move down. Here's Brian. What's up, Brian? Nice move to the downside there as it started to break. And we said VWAP right there, no problem. And then, you know, this was about 2 hours later, it looks like. There's the collapse. We actually got it once. That was the first trade. And then we got it again when it came back to VWAP, because I was like, okay, we'll take it. Because when we're taking profit there and it's like $1.50 or more, and our VWAP, you know what our out was here, guys? Like, obviously my stop has changed, but like our out was VWAP breaking. So let's just zoom in here and just to see, like, you know, like that's $91. Like I'm short at 90.70. This was 30 cents. I don't think you're ever going to see a risk to reward like this. That's 30 cents, maybe a little bit more. I don't know, maybe my stop would have been a little bit higher. Let's just say 40 cents there to grab $20. Like, but again, as Joe had mentioned before, like you can't predict this kind of a move. So we start layering it out, and then it just collapsed down. So yeah, man, like just a great day there for SLV. Let's see what it does here into the close. I still think there's an opportunity for this to come down. Trade of the month. Yeah, I just told you. Trade of the last 5 years for me. What's up to ML Stone there? Mark Stone, Team Canada. You're going to be good for Mark Stone, hopefully, as the Olympics are starting very, very soon, man. Team Canada.
Isn't it this week?
Is it this week? I don't know, is it? But you know, Italy will put on a good show, of course. God's country, they won't screw that one up. They might screw up the.
Maybe it's next weekend.
It's the same as Super Bowl. They may screw up the dimensions of the hockey rink.
I guess.
Oh, just real quick. We are about to get out of Tesla. I do have many more shares in SLV than I do in Tesla right now. Tesla, we really got out right here, man. Like once this bumped to 434, you know, we got out a lot of our position on when this happened. I did think it was breaking lower, so we got out of it. I mean, we had lost there, made money there. So Tesla just trying to hold on here. It may not, but I'm always excited for the Olympics. Great team, great show. Yeah, we talked about app.
It was 14% when we talked about it before. I thought it was 14%. Okay, it was 14% when we mentioned it before. So yeah, we were just talking about this one during the, I feel like it was just after the rundown. 16%. I think this is really bad. And so I'm just going to repeat what I said. 500 is just too big of a level to lose it in the way that it's doing so today, and the 200-period moving average, and the sentiment in the space, and the fact that it's, like this had been relatively strong. You can even say there's a bull flag breaking down in the wrong direction on that daily chart. And then if you look at the weekly chart on app, I don't know what I'm going to say that's positive here. Then when you look at the weekly chart, it's like, okay, well, you've got one line in the sand left. On the weekly, you've got $460. And once you're through that, it's effectively, like it's just, like it's broken on every time frame up until the weekly chart, and then if we lose this, say like next week, then it's broken on the weekly chart as well. You could make the argument it was already broken on the weekly here. I'd say it's not completely dead until it gets underneath the 50-period moving average. Like the 50-period moving average on a weekly chart and the 200-period moving average on a daily chart are kind of those like litmus tests. Like to me, in a long-term position, if I own something in the long term that is underneath the 50 period on the weekly or the 200 period on the daily, then here's the thing. I really, really like that company. And I feel like, oh, this thing in 10 years, gonna be just fine. And I'm not worried about short-term action. So to me, that's a conviction you would need to have in a stock that's underneath that kind of a metric, which app is about to be, or at least seemingly look like it's going to be. Yeah, I don't know. There's no good analysis for a chart like that that's going to make maybe it bounces here, right? But if I'm saying maybe it bounces off the weekly on app, then it's not like it holding here this week. It's a Friday. Confirmation of that would be in the following week. Like it's not like you're not buying this candle at the end of the week, in my opinion. You're buying the open of the next one, or you're buying somewhere in here when it's looking green, or you're buying it when it's breaking back the next week. So I think next week is your best chance that it holds on the weekly, but I wouldn't be gambling on it myself. So I got in on what I call like the back end of the trade, which is allow it to make a stop, and then, or it doesn't have to be, I don't have to be in it, but it easily stops through the volume weighted average price, and then reshort it and give it to the high. And to the point about like risk to reward, and again, but this was a partial fill. It only shows when I got the rest of the shares here because I punched long on that little mini flash crash and I didn't get the full fill. Like I think I got 60, I got like 2/3 of the fill, and then the rest I just kind of left in there on the way back in with the same stop. So it's all, when you're talking about risk to reward, like in that case, like you're risking on this stock, I want to risk here like a few cents. 3, 4, it ended up being 3, but I would have risked 10 if it had gotten a bad price. But it's kind of the same thing here. I'm only risking 10 cents, or actually not even 10 cents, and looking for it to get back into the lows. And then the other thing I'm watching, because we're deep into power hour.
Are we? Oh yeah, I guess so.
What is, oh, good, NYMEX.
We're trying to watch some oil trading, or
no,
what?
I just typed in INTC, and then for some reason, I don't even know why NYMEX.
It moved to NYMEX, Intel did.
No, they're not going to, I don't know. They didn't. I was kind of hoping this would do another push back to the upside and then short another pop on Intel, but it's just continuing to fall. Intel's now down 5%, which,
Yeah.
I don't know, there was that 42 level. There was rumors about 42 being, oh, it wasn't a rumor, no, it was shoot, I thought there was an insider buy. I'm trying to remember what officer, maybe like a CFO or something. There was somebody talk of an insider buy at the $42 level that was part of the spike after the earnings, which we were confused why it was up a couple of days after that, because there wasn't really a story, and then some people were saying there was some insider buying. SNDK we have not said enough about today.
Oh yeah, we didn't even look at that at all.
Well, it's because if it wasn't for silver, everybody would be talking about SNDK today. Like, there's no question, because this is the one that, like, hey, look what else did a ridiculous pullback, and it's still up 2%. That's why I hate this metric sometimes. Right? Like, hey, look, SNDK's up 2%. Oh, really? Is it up 2%? What do you think? Since the open, no, but it's so silly because it's from the prior close when they had earnings. So yeah, it's still up 2%, but no one actually thinks it's a positive stock today because at the open, this was at $658. Now it's at $548. Again, this was probably going to happen at some point. It's just the earnings were the catalyst. It's easier to say what the catalyst is for this. They're selling the news on the earnings
Down
than with
20%.
silver, right? Like it was going to happen at some point. It was just looking for an excuse.
Like, shout out to Rurik there in the chat. Yeah, made 200 grand on SNDK today. Yeah, I mean, this is what we said. Like, the earnings are getting smashed. You know, like that's why I'm nervous about Palantir. This is pretty funny though. Yeah, shout out to Mr. Rookie Man. Yeah, TMZ is now reporting. I actually like TMZ for their reporting. It's actually they breaking a lot of stuff. Sean Contini has listed his Tesla car on Turo due to recent events with silver. I'm short, but yeah. I was actually thinking about doing, oh, by the way, we just got out of Tesla right there, so kind of funny that comes up right there. Yeah, so first step is I have to get full self-drive, and then it has to get like automated and everything, and then I'm gonna just let it run around the city as a taxi. No, I could just buy it. It's $100 a month.
The transfer of the.
Oh no, I thought Sharif said it's with the car.
It goes with the car.
Yeah, I think it goes with the car.
So it does go with the car.
Well, I don't know. That Sharif had reported that. I don't know. You guys tell me. Anybody that has full self-drive. The question that we're trying to figure out is.
So if you upgrade the car,
is like it's right now. I could still do it. It's like 11 grand to buy full self-drive for the car, right? But the car's a 2023, so it's like I'm probably gonna get rid of it soon anyways, so why not? Why would I pay 11 grand for it? But if I bought a new Model 3 and I logged in as the same account, would it transfer forward? That's the thing. I know if it's a subscription, whatever, you cancel.
Then why would I keep it? Like if I decide that I wanted to go from,
it's only $100 a month.
I know. It's just from a simplicity standpoint. Like why would? Anyways. However they do it is how they do it. It's
the thing is,
how I would logically think it would work.
If you own a Tesla, you know, and you take...
I don't own one, so it's like...
No, I know, but for example, like, I don't know what the GO train costs you a month. Obviously, you would know that, plus GO train, plus TTC, right?
Here's what I'll tell you. I actually did this calculation.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how well in Toronto or the GTA GO Transit has worked this out. And because if you factor in, I've done this twice. The cost of gas, a reasonable maintenance fee, and like with the cost of commuting, it's net pretty much the same thing.
No, but what I'm saying is that
it's really, really close. Like it's a fair value what you pay to commute into the.
But I'm going to tell to you how you can figure it out better. Look, if you pay more than $99 a month for transportation to and from work.
Oh, it's now better. Well, no, but it's now better because I transferred to the TTC for free. Since they added that,
yeah.
now it's just like golden because if you go from the train to the subway, you don't have to pay.
But what I'm saying is like
And
you
use
could
it every single day.
get a Model 3. Like as long as you pay, if you pay more than $99 a month, basically you could sit in the Tesla and let it just drive you to work. Don't pay any gas at all.
Well,
drive it to
that
work.
would be different.
Yeah, and then
I need my reading on the train.
I think I could save you like about $100 a month right
Well,
there.
I'm just I would
Shop
never
with
want-
Geico.
I would never want to drive in.
Right there.
Because,
No,
like, it's
and
like-
that's what I'm saying. You don't have to.
It's the free time that you get because it's like when you're at work, and then when you're at home, your dad. And then when I'm commuting, I get to do like things I'm just not going to have time to do, like sit there and do like a Wordle and sit there and read a sci-fi novel and that kind of a thing.
For sure. Yeah, that's the one thing I think that you get definite benefit on the train. All right, everybody, thank you so much to Czar Trader. Here it is. Sean's SLV position is inspiring. All right, well, that's good. I'm glad that we're able to do that for you guys. And, you know, it does mean a lot that you guys are watching here. And that's why we sit here and we trade for you guys, right? To try to show that, hey, like we're sitting here hitting keys, you know, and trying to make the best decisions we possibly can. And the silver position, yeah, I mean, again, thank you so much. And we won't tell you about the P&L or anything like that, but that's why I'm here to tell you that it's the biggest single stock trade that I've had. So I hope it's good for all of you. And it was a well thought out, well planned, well timed, well positioned, everything. So really happy. It's good to go into the weekend with that. I don't know. I don't think so, Jacques. There, I don't think you can drink and go on the. Oh no, that's not the one I wanted to do. There was something about drinking. Oh, here it is, right here. Would you be able to drink and do FSC? No, you can't have open alcohol in a car.
No.
So that would be bad, but you can drink.
As long as you have
coffee.
the ability to operate the vehicle.
Yeah,
you have the ability to operate the vehicle. Now, I'm willing to guess if you ever get to the point where like a car doesn't even have a wheel and it's only automated, my guess is the rules would maybe they'd change in that situation because like you couldn't operate it even if you wanted to. So how could you say? Before we go to Adair, INLF just halted to the downside. This is some other small capper which just went crazy. I saw a few people saying it was going nuts, and before I could even talk about it, it was halted down. So halted at exactly $1. It halted at $1. It's indicating a 93 open. So that was kind of fast. I was about to say this one's breaking through $1 because people were putting it in the chat, and then there you go. It's already halted. Adara?
SPCE on watch here. Virgin Galactic Holdings after Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin announces they're pausing New Shepard rocket program for 2 years. So again, some of these space companies potentially on watch as Blue Origin announces a 2-year pause for its Shepard rocket program. Back to you.
Everybody, biotechnology. Okay. Figured out after. Thank you, Andre. We'll do that after. But right now, if you want to go to my screen, that's great. Here goes IBIT, right? So again, we have this trade. We'll hit the sirens up. It's another one. We thought that there was going to be a little bit of a bleed here in the market. It's too bad that we got stopped out of our Apple trade right there. Just kidding. Apple's huge right now to the upside. So look at that. Like this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about when we're talking about risk management. You know, like I'm very, very, obviously you can see by my outs, very, very responsible, hopefully managing risk. And there you see it right there, in, wrong, out. You know, that was the 21 period at the time. It broke down. I thought we were onto something. Maybe it's the 50 period break, but it didn't work there either. So anyways, whatever. Nothing's gonna work 100% of the time, but once it fails, we get out. Right there on Apple, right? And so that's kind of the difference. And same thing with IBIT, which is why we can, turn that frown upside down and start to win again on these kind of trades. And now that I'm seeing this, I'm going to try to pair the 21 with, shout out to Savage, I'm going to try to pair that around with, levels. So right now we've broken down, right? We're watching this 21 period moving average continue to go to the downside. And we will just take the out if it breaks past this area's sort of support, or in this case would be resistance. So good, yes, we get the 21 period, bang, right there. Shout out to Ozan. The cash cow is there. But good trading there. We just got another fill again, 47.30, 31. I don't know what that was. 31, 47.31. All right, we're ready to go. Do not forget that PDS Biotechnology under the Nasdaq. PDSB is transforming how the immune system targets and fights cancer with initial focus on HPV-16 positive head and neck cancer. HPV-16 can cause head and neck cancer, and more people are facing these high-risk cancers than ever before. HPV-16 positive head and neck cancer are projected to become the most common type of said cancer in the United States in just a few years. Please, everybody, visit pdsbiotech.com to learn more and go have a look at them over on the Nasdaq, PDSB. We want to thank them for the sponsorship of the segment. All right, so there's a couple covers, man. Like, I don't know what just happened, but there goes IBIT. So, man, come on. You trying to run my spot again, IBIT? 47.60. Let's put that stop in right now. And if it breaks through, it breaks through. We'll be up on it, and that'll be that. 47.61 out of 100p, and we'll see what winds up happening there. And on that note, let's bid some more out at 52 if we can. There it is. Yes, sir. We get some more out at 52. Locking in profit for IBIT on the day. And now we'll just see the Nasdaq, man. I mean, yesterday's rally at least happened, and we made it back with there only being 25 minutes until the close, or at least until the imbalances. I don't know if the Nasdaq's going to do its damn thing, but we're all the way at the low of the day right now for Nasdaq. Again, another spot. Like, generally, I'd be looking long now. I just, into a Friday, I don't know, man. Maybe we even go short if it breaks the lows. The Nasdaq right now down 1.58%, and the ES down 2/3 of 1%. Oh man, just a wild day, man. Obviously, a lot of the shine has come off of this market, and I say that because the shine is also gold and silver. But
that's pun intended.
Yeah, very much intended.
S&P just went red.
Yeah. What about COPEX?
5% just dropped 5%. Nvidia is also falling. Like, everything is heading precipitously to the downside here. Yeah, Nvidia just lost a bit. It's now down a full point. It's looking nasty. No, Lassen, I'm not in Intel anymore. Every time I played it reversion to the low. Mean reversion to the low. Mean reversion to the low. And then the pattern didn't repeat itself the last time. But you do what tries to work for you. I actually thought there would be some support on Intel for the afternoon, because sometimes you have that method of thinking that risk off is going to be in the other direction. And by the way, I didn't show you guys a 15-minute chart. If you go back, this is where it broke out on Wednesday. So there was a big buy at the open. Like, that was the open range support and was kind of double bottoming down there. So I kind of thought there'd be some support on Intel, but there is not. There's almost no support on anything in tech right now. Well, at least on the AI side of the trade. I shouldn't say anything in tech because I haven't looked at everything as far as I know. Like, what is how Meta ends the week, I think, is important. Even that's not looking good because Meta had such a great reaction to their earnings, and it's almost losing that bid. Hasn't happened yet, but it's starting to look a little bit dicey. Oh, the other name that we haven't talked about, which I'm sure some people have at least noticed, and I know a lot of people in the back office here, we're looking at, not the back office, but in the back, like Obi and some others. Circle broke the all-time low today, which I don't think we reported about. It's an IPO, but whatever. The all-time low is literally from middle of last year, but it broke that 64. Double bottom. I think, like, sometimes, I'm trying to find a sneeze here, so hopefully I don't. Apologies if I do. As long as this closes underneath 64, which right now it looks like it's going to, this is a come in on Monday, pay for locates, and if it's underneath this price, it's like an all-time low continuation breakdown for Circle. And then throw in the fact that Bitcoin's been trash, and a lot of crypto's been not too good. That's another reason why Circle could fall apart. It's not often that you have something that went this parabolic, spend this much time breaking down, hold the low, even consolidate for a bit, and then take it out. Like, imagine if something was doing this to the upside. Like, how would you feel about it on the weekly? You'd be looking for a breakout the next week. So in this case, I think you're just looking for a breakdown in Circle. I don't know what CoreWeave is doing, but at least that one's in the AI side of the trade.
Yeah.
Because in theory, I know that some of these stocks don't look that good today, but like in theory, the CapEx spend was a positive for some of these stocks. It's just you're not really seeing that play out with the price action for the last couple of days. But Meta is spending boatloads of money, and they've said they're going to continue to. And it was the same thing with Microsoft. And until proven otherwise, we're probably going to hear the same thing from Amazon as well. And that should, you'd think, would be good for these guys.
Here is, we do have our picks of the year right here, right now. And of course, Neil and I on this desk in dead last place. He and I, we are both getting crushed.
Oh, yeah.
Down 10% right now. Obi, unfortunately, has been eliminated. The only person that is green right now is Adara. So because of the rule violation. Remember, we talked about that. He has 2 shorts that are not allowed.
Because it stopped out.
No, but also because it's a rule violation. He's eliminated. But Adara's still in it, so we do have Adara right here, so good job on you, man. Boeing, you got that nice. Oh, well, Boeing long is actually Boeing must have got hit the last couple of days. I thought Boeing was up nicely. But the big trade for Adara there is the Oracle short. So I got to say, congratulations, Adara. That's awesome.
She had to go short. I guess that's the moral of the story. And if you do your research, you really shouldn't be. I'm just waiting for someone to drop a short report on Oracle.
So for the record,
and that's why
the rule was if you go short something, it had to be part of the S&P 500.
Yeah. Everyone knows he's eliminated.
That was just I'm just letting everybody know. It had to be part of the S&P 500 so that it's reasonable.
And also his positions. They're great positions.
They're great positions. Situs.
And the only thing I thought about it was because of Circle. You know, like Circle broke, and that was a great story. Like, this is great. Like, he's short. These are great positions, right? And BW I'd never heard of, but that's a great position as well. That's up 16%. Like, Obi is the one.
Babcock and Wilcox Enterprises.
You know, these are great positions, and so a big shout out to Obi. It has nothing to do with that. I'm just talking about the fact is that
what is this thing? This thing is going parabolic.
10 people followed the rules and 1 didn't. So it just goes to show you, like sometimes if you're a rule breaker, you win. Right there. Shout out to Sharif. Let's see what Sharif has in his portfolio here. So similar to me, Broadcom and Marvell both obviously down right now. TMO, is that Thermo Fisher? I think isn't that what that is? Yeah, Thermo Fisher. Good. If I got that one. And then look, man, no surprise there, Northrop. So good little job there, or good job for Sharif, just holding on to the green side of things right there, right now. For Neil and here, Fabian. Oh man, Fabian was cruising, man. And then we had silver. So we'll find AG. What? That's not. That should be down more than that. I don't know if maybe that's not. Maybe silver's not down that much. That's going to be a silver miner stock. So good job, Fabian, if that's holding up as well. Let's see what Ramin took. Ramin, ASTS, Rocket Lab, and Netflix. So good couple calls right there. Obviously, Astis and ASTS, Space Mobile, good, and Rocket Lab, obviously in the same space. So we'll see if those guys can also take off. And we saw that York Systems yesterday, Space Systems, that was a bad IPO, but still okay. Actually went out at 34, came out at 38, went down. I think it's back to 37 today. And then
barcoding the 34 level.
Yeah, I really like Netflix. I actually think this is a pretty good risk on portfolio right now. Mine is right here, SHN. I like that. Yeah, so okay, BBAI, that's a nice story. They're the one. Man, where's my mouse again? This is the one that's getting murdered, down 21% for Big Bear AI. Yeah, great call. We'll wait to see what that does. We've already talked about this one. That's going to be a little bit of a problem, especially with the market bleeding right now. So Marvell and Broadcom, both the same. I really like Eli Lilly. So these are two pretty good staples in my portfolio right now, Marvell and Eli Lilly. And then Big Bear AI, I mean, it's getting close to the price I'm long. I'm long at 420 on this name, so that's coming back in. But we've already gotten out of about 60% of our position. We've already talked about that. I'm not reloading it until it gets back down to that $4 mark. And then we'll just wrap it up because Neil's right here. AVAV, obviously, that's so similar to Big Bear AI. Absolutely.
That's almost back to where I got in.
Yeah, that's absolutely destroyed.
I'm in at 255, and that's back to. But here's the thing about it is, it went 255 to $400 in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We just happened to do it. We did our thing, and I didn't change
down
my
25%,
picks.
right?
Like I said,
everyone's going to pitch in.
I flat out was not going to change my picks, even though I made them 3 weeks before, 2.5 weeks before. So we just stuck with what we were going to do. But this is the defense names are coming back in.
I still like AVA.
This is back to the 200 period moving. I'm only bringing it up because it's back to the 200 period moving average. So I took off a third, literally 1 week into the year. And I'm looking to get back in on a 200 period bounce for AVAV because it's all the way back to that entry point. And I can zoom out further to show you the respect of the 200-period moving average. So look at the volume spike when you start to see all the big defense names go up. And since then, that was off to 200. It's already held, didn't really get there, held once, held twice. So I'm looking for a reload on this, possibly next week, just because it broke, kind of broke the 50-period here. So I think next week is when you look for that 200-period bounce, if it happens. I mean, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I have no idea.
And then FCX, they've already reported we like copper. We'll see. I mean, hopefully that can hold up there, obviously. And actually, we didn't even, I was meant to look at copper there. And then CRISPR.
Copper's off today.
CRISPR down 10% in a month as well. So, yeah, all right. That's just what we've been doing. And it's just fun stuff. I think that we had here's copper. Down 10. Yeah, see what? I even had it up.
It's all about
all
the metals.
Yeah, it's all the metals. All right, SLV making another move just real quick. So I'm going to sit on the bid right now and take something there. If we can. Oh man, I bid 74.99 there because it was on the bid, and now it almost looks like it's like in a halting state there. As someone's trying to. Okay, I'm just going to punch. Okay, that's fine. All right. We tried to punch out there, but then we got our 75 fill as it just went upside. So that was a good one there. Okay, here we go. Oh, another one from David. What up, David? If you've been in driverless car, which I have not, without having little fear, you are brave. Yeah, I am. That's part of the nervousness with me with FSD, but I actually really love driving.
I've never been in one.
I've never driven a car as fun as the Model 3 that I have. And I actually... Now it makes me think like maybe I will trade up for the Model S. I don't know. Tesla to 427, big volume coming. Yeah, we will look at the imbalances there as well. Sell imbalance, I think.
Sell imbalance.
Yeah, if it's coming there. And we don't see the imbalances for these names.
No,
I'll just finish it off.
We won't see Nasdaq until 350.
Yeah, the Google. So it's funny because I can actually show you my notes. Like, it's funny too because I also had SoFi, which would have been disastrous. Google, SoFi, and Eli Lilly. Like, those were the three that I was actually thinking about taking. And then I wanted to have a name like a Big Bear because last year when we were up 164%, most of that, although we had the Dow, which was 20.
We had talk about doing more names.
JP Morgan, I think, last year.
That
day I wanted 5 names.
I didn't want to pick anything I picked last year because I still love G Vernova where it was at. I still thought IBM is a good play, but the other thing too is like I didn't get back into G Vernova, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna run it back as my pick if I didn't actually buy it recently. I'm like, that's just trash. It's like I still like it as a long, but I didn't buy the dip myself. So then how can I say?
Before we go anywhere, I'm going to take this off because I have a funny story here, and I obviously love talking about my family. But so Baron yesterday was his birthday. He got cash for his birthday, right? So he has a bank account, and he wants to just deposit it right into the bank account there. So my wife took the cash. I think it was just $100, and she said she'd send him the money. So like. Here's he doesn't want to go to the bank machine, so here's the $100 cash, and we'll EMT him whatever the cash, right? Cool. He asked for a convenience tax for giving the cash. So Marissa goes, "What's up with that? That doesn't make any sense. We don't want cash because we don't." And his response was, "What if you wanted to get a manicure? You could offer cash and get a better price." So I just say that for me is one of the proudest moments now as a father, because that's exactly what I teach the kids, man. Look for the best deal possible. And I always tell the guy, like, try to pay cash. Often people will give you a discount. And I even explain to them, fight the tax man. These guys, like the barber, and even yesterday, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to a haircut." And he's like, "I'm going to pay with cash next time." And I was like, exactly. That's what you want to do. So I'm those
are hard businesses.
I did a big heart emoji on that one right there as he was selling my wife on the convenience tax about giving cash there. And then apparently he did it.
She ain't play that though.
No. He's getting. I might have to charge him a tax. And then he apparently did she says a cute eyebrow thing that he did, like kind of like a like a wink thing that he does there for that one. So, anyways, that's pretty sweet there. So I thought that was awesome. He's 14 years old. All right, back over. What's up, Adara?
Watch out for the Canadian IRS. They're not that smart.
Adara, was that?
What's up here is Archer Aviation, ACHR. They're doing an interview with Fox Business, and they said, or the CEO rather said, during said Fox Business interview, the company will be flying in major cities this summer. Incredibly vague, but a little bit of a bounce off the lows here for ACHR. And again, not the first flight / space related headline of the afternoon with Blue Origin, as I mentioned earlier, announcing they're to be pausing new Shepherd flights for minimum 2 years. Back to you.
It was the rock thing.
Oh, they got moked.
Oh, by the way, like, there's me getting stopped out of IBIT. I thought I was bidding out of SLV there, by the way, and I went in and out of IBIT. So if you saw that flash, that's just a mistake. But by the way, there's the out that I meant to take. So we switched over our level 2s, went right into SLV, playing this because we only have 20 minutes now. We have to, Neil and I are on a prop floor, and we have to be flat at the end of every single day. So, and that day is, you know, basically,
last trading day of the month.
Yeah, basically 4 o'clock, and it's the last day of the month. And we do have to.
That's why there's massive imbalances.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this CADE. 28 million right there. Neil said that was a buyout.
They're
Neil
both
obviously trades buyouts.
So is CMA. They're both.
Bros, you know, I really like this stock off of Starbucks report. Obviously, Starbucks fade. That's another report that was up huge, and Starbucks gave back 12%. It was up 10% on earnings day, wound up down 2 after that. That's a Dara pick, I think, Starbucks. Bros, that's a name that I really like, and they've been getting hit as well to the downside. So shout out to Dutch Bros. I've never had any of their product as a Midwest, I think. Name there. Oh, there's SLV. It finally showed up. So SLV has 1 million bid. That ain't gonna do nothing. It's done 470 million shares, and that's part of day trading, man. Trade the names. We already talked about this. Neil mentioned this as well. Trade the names that are in the news, that are volatile, that are moving around. And if you do that, then you may already be on silver today as it continues to go lower as we speak. What do you? Oh, okay. Will it bounce from here? Yeah, I think it will. I think a dramatic move like this, down 30%, when the only thing that we've really been able to find, obviously, is just an exhaustion of buyers up here. I think that's obvious. And then we had the Warsh thing, right? So I think that's a cover-up. I don't think there's anything to do with that, but it is a downside move. And yeah, it looks like it's coming right into what I have marked down as the 50-period moving average. I don't think that ever happened that day, but you know, the last couple times we made moves down, it was never one dramatic move into the 50-period moving average. But this is definitely something to look out for. So is there more downside? Potentially, yes. But just looking at what we're talking about, there's some consolidation right in these areas here. So that's not really a surprise why we're trying to figure out. Like, look at this consolidation, and that's exactly the range of what we're figuring out right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a 70 print come Monday morning or at some point here in the after hours or early on Monday. And then we'll try to see about maybe, and I said I want to get into some silver because I don't own any, into here, $66 and change is your 50-period moving average. So I do want to thank you for the super chat. We're just $17 in the money right now on this silver trade and just starting to piece out as we move forward here into the close.
Yeah, the volume is what is really telling. And the leverage product, look at this week in ZSL. Like, it's been picking up interest, and then this week it's gone absolutely insane in terms of volume, and then the last couple of days. And then the simple fact that even after a flash crash, it managed to get back to the top, and now it's breaking out again. So this thing decoupled from the underlying, which would be SLV, made it back to the high, and then when it broke support, it's now breaking and trying to break back out. So there's very clearly some kind of a story that's telling me this might not be done, right? Like, there's enough sell pressure here. Like, if you thought this, like, if this was supposed to be a relief rally, and there was like the buy the dip, like, I would expect the actual opposite. Like, I wouldn't have thought they would recover back into the highs in here. Like, that kind of a thing. Like, you just think it's going to be the other way. But there was enough sell action that it got all the way back. Because to me, if that was a simple flash crash, it's like, well, why would it break out the top? Usually you recover to like here, and then you start going back into the downside. So there's certainly signs that the unwind was needed. I don't know. I think if you're looking for a dip, I'd feel safer with like copper or like gold or something in the short term if you're looking to buy the dip on a metal. I just feel a little bit better.
I just saw the message you wrote about the order type that we had.
They said the same thing?
Yeah, they said the same thing. So I just want to say something to everybody. Like yesterday on YS, I don't know if let me see if I had I'm just going to look through here because I don't know if I wanted to show the chart of it because I want to show. Oh, this was funny. I tweeted this out yesterday. More Chuck Norris. Anytime I see something funny on Chuck Norris, it was like Superman wears Chuck Norris pajamas. So I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, that's what it is. No, I didn't. I thought I did put it out yesterday. I guess I did not. Okay. So it's about knowing your platform, to be honest with you, right? So this order that I'm always putting in, this stop at 100%, so it goes out at 5%. So it sends out a 5% market order, but if there's no liquidity there, then it will stop at that 5%, wait 5 seconds, and then refire. All right, so the problem yesterday on YSS, as they tell both Neil and I this, was...
No, it says, they said 2%.
Yeah, no, but the first one is 5%.
5.
Then it goes 2 after that. So yeah, anyways, I was just gonna say, like, yesterday what wound up happening, okay, come on chart, was when this opened up right here, we were all, Neil and I were both long at 38 because we took that opening print. The problem was 5% down is where we first got executed, wherever that, or less than 5% down. We got a good fill, but then it couldn't find, like the bid was so thin that it basically stopped pushing down, saying there was no liquidity, because it does, so, and it gives it 5 seconds for the book to build back up, and then it hits. All right, so I just wanted to say, like, knowing the logic behind stop orders, because I'm only using it on Google, like Silver, like all these things where if my level breaks on Apple or IBIT, like I use right here, I use the exact same key, right? Like when it breaks there, 5% up, that's not happening. Like, so I've never had that situation happen to me before. So I just wanted to say, like, know your platform and especially doing that. So there you go, like being here for 24 years, using the exact same platform over and over again. I learned something, that's probably the key I hit the most. And I just learned how it actually operates. So idiot I am, but now I'm smarter. So I just wanted to say, like, do the research and try to figure that all out. But that was just a little bit of a heads up on
it's mostly because, yeah, we have 3 different stop orders, and it's the other ones don't behave in that manner. It's just, that's what it is.
Particular
so
one.
it's like never make an assumption you make an ass out of you and me. Like it's that kind of thing. It's assuming that it worked the same as the other 2. And most traders, you probably
I didn't even think about it.
You probably only have 1 stop order with your broker. Here at Real Trading, we literally have so many keys for everything. Every dark pool you can imagine, multiple stop orders, you have so many options out there available. You can make an assumption that, oh, this one probably works the same way as the other one. And if you've been around too long, then that can be a bit of the problem. But you know what? If you've been around all week, you know all about feed. At least I hope you do. And that's NView Medical. Ticker is FEED. FED. The company designs and markets a guided feeding tube platform to hospitals across the U.S. today. And, you know, the majority of hospitals are doing this procedure blindly. That leads to avoidable injuries from misplacements. Think of this platform as a GPS system for feeding tube replacement, which can improve patient safety and streamline how care teams work. And what stands out is the growing appetite for the platform throughout U.S. hospitals and how their tech fits right into clinical needs. They're in 30 hospitals today worldwide. And as hospitals push for safer, more efficient solutions, NView looks like a company building scalable technology with real-world demand behind it. Definitely one to watch. We had the CEO on this week, and the stock, well, I guess for the first time today, the shorts finally got their due after getting blown out for 3 days in a row on this. I can't even pull back all 3 days on a 3-minute, so I'll show you here. 1, twice, thrice. It's back into 3, so this is the first red day it's had on the week after being completely explosive. And so, I mean, it's a triple from the beginning of the week, obviously. So 3 minutes to go until the imbalances come in.
That's it? Oh my God.
Remember, it is Friday. It is also the last day of the month, so it's already been a full month. Man, February's got a lot going on. Again, Super Bowl, the Olympics.
February's going to be great this year.
Well, you know, the Super Bowl should be okay. I'm not convinced it's going to be that great of a game, to be honest.
Well, I'm definitely not excited about the halftime show, and it has nothing to do politically. I can't name one Bad Bunny name or song. Can you?
I don't know.
Yeah, so there you go. All right, just quickly here.
I'm not that into the halftime show usually, anyways.
No, that's what I mean, if it's somebody good, yes, but okay. So one, like, obviously Kendrick was not my favorite last year, that's for sure. Okay, this is who made the money yesterday. We just talked about, you know, what to trade, and there it was, man. This is top traders by market yesterday. I don't know what this number is going to be like today, but there's 142,000 for Amex, $30,000. This is in order, so you can see how dramatic the differences are. That's why, like, be very weary of, like, you know, some of these people on YouTube when they put those big sort of flashes up there. I made $150,000 today. I mean, people are doing it. There's no doubt about that, but we don't see the downside, because I do know for a fact that traders are getting blown the you-know-what out of SLV and silver and ZSL and gold and any name, BBAI, like whatever you want to do. There's traders making money on all names and also losing on names. Someone in Canada made 30 grand. These are the top 10 traders by market, and this is US dollars. And then CSE. Normally, actually, no, here, that's not what I want. I want top 10 traders, period. Okay, so there you go. See, so that person that made 140,000 or whatever it was, must have lost a little bit on something else. So there it is, Amex and NASDAQ, Amex and NASDAQ, Amex and NASDAQ. So, you know, you catch what I'm saying right now? There's reasons why, you know, your boy just turns his head right over to silver and then puts a number up on that one. So, yeah, we like it, and there's yesterday's profits. We're going to be really fun to see what that shows up on Monday because I do have, obviously, a very good feeling that it may be similarly traded today as we did. Get today. I don't think it'll be as much.
I think the unwind on ZSL is the kind of thing that would have been any day, because day traders are going to like something where there was only $2 that you can leverage. Like, it does 1 billion shares on the day. So it's the kind of thing that day traders would have been riding the long side of because it's inverse. And that unwind was nasty. It felt like cascading. It was like cascading liquidations from short-term traders, in my opinion, because silver wasn't moving that much. So I don't think it might have been as good because it was an easy, unless you had really tight stops, like some people could have gotten wrecked. I don't know if it was real trading. I'm just saying it was just distinctly different today from yesterday because of that one disconnect from ZSL and SLV. So with 30 seconds to go, I don't know what ELMA, I actually don't know what that one is. Elm Communications, I'm not familiar with it. These two, there are a couple of buyouts, and then there's pretty much nothing out here that looks that interesting, but you never know. There's no NASDAQ names on this list, and there won't be until 20 seconds come in. Then we'll see potentially like NVIDIA could pop up on there. Lots of questions about like maybe an SNDK. You never really know. Maybe some window dressing to end the month. BBAI apparently is moving as well.
Yeah, it's not really. No, it's up to 5. It's bouncing from 490 to 505. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, Uno. Whoa, silver. What? I thought I just saw silver there with a huge bid.
Well, look at H.
That's why I just clicked on HBAM. I thought I saw SLV there. Did SLV just do something? No. Okay, so my bad. All right. Oh, you know why? Because I have SLV right there. Okay. Whew. All right. Lots of stuff to talk about right here. CMA. I mean, some of these are, I guess, buyouts. I don't know. But this one's a big one. This is a 3. Yeah, this is a 3 million. Is there any news on CMA, Dara? Maybe
that's the same one.
There's an ad. Oh, this is a buyout?
This is, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Buyout delete.
Oh, buyout delete. Okay, so that means it's getting deleted. So there's 17 million shares right now that have to come out, but that's an upside move, so I don't know what's going on there. All right, anything that
because it's all stock.
Okay.
So if I'm gonna guess, HBAN is buying CADE. So I don't know the other one. I'm not 100% sure, but probably this guy's FITB is probably buying CMA. So my guess is FITB is probably some kind of a bank because these are both bank deals. Yeah, Fifth Third Bancorp. I can confirm it.
Oh yeah, FITB is Fifth Third. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Fifth Third Bancorp. Yep, that's right. So Fifth Third Bancorp and HBAN are the acquirers, so they're bids, and the other ones are sells. So it's just like an arbitrage. You can't actually, you're not going to make money off of that. Like you have to wait until maybe one of them flips and then try to jump in late. So you're seeing gigantic imbalance. These are massive deals. Like the notional value on these is in the billion for FITB and HBAN, and then on the other side it's like 1 billion and 650 million on the other ones. They are massive. There are, by the way, NVIDIA is 3.8 million to buy.
What? Oh, I didn't see. There's so many little.
Well, this is the thing. Like, we've got completely distracted by those. NVIDIA is a big buy.
You know what?
Actually, that's about it. NVIDIA is a big buy, and there's nothing else here. JPM, that's not really anything. Yeah, it's literally just NVIDIA as far as big cap tech. And then you have all of these deals. Hive is a buy.
Blockchain.
Yeah, Hive is
Blockchain darling.
That's a 9 million buy on Hive. It's done 9 million shares on the day. It moved 5 cents. It's not that big.
How about our boy SNDK? Let's just see what
I didn't see it.
No, neither did I. Let's just see what it's doing at the end of the day. What the? All right, nice bounce. Good move. I'm not saying what the to the move. I didn't realize it went to 5. I know you talked about it, but I wasn't clearly in a different zone there. I didn't even realize that had gone to 530. Their SNDK. I know we talked about it going red, but I actually didn't like visualize or think about like how low that actually was. This is given back there today $150 at the low. Wow, SNDK, man, violent, but still, I mean, if you're playing earnings, man, you're up. So you're still up 5%, you know, on the day. So it's just how wild some of these things continue to move right there. I wanted to sort of highlight NVIDIA. Oops, there it is. Because, yeah, sure, it's a nice move. The Nasdaq doesn't really care too much about it. Nasdaq's actually going to the downside. Adara often gives us the overall move there. You know, that might be something that we do. We just throw to Adara for the overall move, but I'll read it to you.
1.9,
Yeah, 1.9 million buy, with the Nasdaq being 500 of that, and the Mag 7 just 300 of that. So thank you, Adara, for all of that. And it does look like we are going to get, again, a little bit of a downside pressure point here for the stocks into the close. So we'll see. But yeah, where'd NVIDIA go? All right, oops. So NVIDIA was 3 million, now 2.4. So if that keeps on getting paired off, remember it's a buy, it should signal downside, right? Because there's buy pressure on NVIDIA right now. And if this buy pressure abates, again, I've lost it again, then you can actually highlight which one you want and sort through them all, but then it sort of disappears the rest of them. So if we keep it clicked like that, we can watch it.
You know what's actually easier to do? Is you can make a list.
Yes.
I actually have a list.
That's what I mean, a list.
I actually have a list up right now. So I'm going to do that really quick. So you make a list if you're at Real Trading, and then, so those are all those big, massive deals. I still have YSS from yesterday. And then I just added NVIDIA, so I can sort by NVIDIA. I should get rid of the ARCA one, but it's 2.3 million. And if I only had NVIDIA on this list, then I'd only be looking at NVIDIA. So that's the advantage here at Real Trading. By the way, what a bounce on SNDK. It's also the most deceiving 6% you're ever going to see. The stock is, hey, SanDisk is up 6%. Tell that to anybody that bought it this morning. You know, they're not going to feel like they're up 6%. They probably feel rather different about how their day has gone if you bought that one at the open.
Yeah, tough call there on SNDK, but you know,
the unwind is real. Like
honestly, if you bought it off the open, like, come on, you got to be careful. With
it was up a bajillion %.
You just got to be careful with the earnings plays, man. Earnings plays have been garbage, and we've talked about that.
Almost all of them have been.
Yeah, like most of them have given it back, like completely. So I don't really. I feel bad, obviously, whenever somebody loses. I mean, hey, I've lost many, many times right in front of everybody. So it's not that. It's just like, just be careful. You know, I'm getting out of my silver. That's all. If you're hearing me or seeing me hitting keys, we just got out a couple bids right there as it's just bouncing off 74. So hopefully silver will give us that look, and you know, maybe we can go downside. Very, very small piece left. As I said a couple times already, we do have to be flat here into the close. So you know, no damage done here on SLV, obviously, but not really moving around too much either. So hopefully we can get a downside push. I'm not really waiting for anything, just trying to hold on as long as we can to see if there is a move on silver. So that's it. All right, other than that, yeah, everybody have a great weekend. Apple's there is a sell. Actually missed that one. Wow, Apple went to 262. Congratulations on that. That's a nice move considering what this market's doing right now. It looks like NVIDIA's paired off completely. Like I don't even see it on this first board. So
it's a sell of 600,000.
Okay, so it's still a sell, but yeah, the Apple sell is maybe what the thing to look at is. But yeah, 4 minutes left now, and we'll wait to see how far down SLV goes.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like that. ASST that's a penny stock there. It was Nokia. Joby's one that stayed. I know we might have missed that. Apologies, because there was some bigger names on the imbalance locator, but Joby ends up with a 2 million buy imbalance. Okay, it didn't really move. Only reason that was interesting, because I know Joby got shellacked today, and sometimes if you have a buy imbalance on a oh, that's even worse than I thought. On a bad day, you can get a bit of a bid. Yeah, that's actually really bad for Joby. Talk about stocks that have lost the bid here. Didn't even notice this one.
Well, if anyone bought it,
flat bottom.
There was an offering, right?
Yeah, there was a negative story on them, but I think we talked about this 2 days ago, and then not again today. Wow, I don't even know where the bottom might be for Joby. There's a lot of this going on right now where you're getting some unwinding, and what can obviously happen is, you know, you get a few things that show, you get a couple of Mag 7 names that show some weakness and people get skittish. Then you get parabolic moves in the metals. Everyone's been leveraging up because their accounts are just going higher, and then that unwinds and it gets nasty. And then you have some strays that'll happen when other bids get lost, right? Because you can get these sort of cascade effects where people are like, oh, shoot, And a margin call here or something, I got to sell something, and some of these high flyers can take strays, and maybe it's worse than it normally would be, but 5% I guess isn't even all that bad as people sell things to cover others.
Yeah.
It can definitely affect. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of that today, right? You know, obviously copper, silver, gold are the epicenter.
Yeah,
That's indicates part of it too.
I think they all are. I mean, there's a lot of names. I mean, let's check out Meta, because Meta's been an interesting story, obviously, over the last couple of days, down 3%. You know what, Microsoft, let's check out Softy. Softy was its worst day yesterday in the history of Microsoft, or no, in the last 7 years for Microsoft, down another % today, but it did recover yesterday. We're still waiting. There was that 420 sort of bottom that hit yesterday that we could wind up seeing for Microsoft again at some point, especially next week, if this market continues with a downside push. So heading into earnings, we did see SoFi today get absolutely shellacked. They were up 7%, 6 to 7% in the pre-market, now down 6%. So, you know, that's a turnaround of 13 points right there. And then PLTR, which is going to come, and we're going to talk about this on Monday, of course, Monday after hours. I think a lot of the names people are looking for are for Palantir. So that should be a good one.
The only one on Monday.
So I don't have, my stop has been canceled here. Nothing's going to run. I feel like we'll just get out at 73. You can put a 73.50. I just want to see if there's like a big whooshing moment maybe at the end of the day. If there is, so now it's going the other way. If there is an imbalance or anything like that on SLV that wants to hit right now. Neil already covered Joby. I said that there was a chance for NVIDIA to reverse its fortunes there, and it didn't really do anything. Apple had a sell imbalance as well, and Apple on earnings, good earnings report for Apple, and they were rewarded. They rewarded their shareholders today, up 1% in a pretty violent market. So, yeah, all right, silver just doing its own thing. I got 30 seconds until I got to close this.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go until the close. I can tell you, it's obviously been pretty nasty on the day. Pretty much everything that was large is going to pair off except for those deals. Like a nasty day, but not necessarily everywhere, because there's always a bull market somewhere, and it had been in some of the small caps. And speaking of small caps, this bell is brought to you by PDS Biotechnology. PDSB, everybody, on the Nasdaq. And we'll ring it right about now. And I'm kind of annoyed by this, because it just got reminded that we have this bell, and we keep saying we are going to use the bell, and we don't actually ring this bell. And it's been an entire week now that we have not actually used the physical bell. I think we did it one time, and then we just kind of keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, I think Dara rang it last Friday. Was it Ramin? Who rang it last? We rang. Yeah, okay, it's all good. All right, yeah, we can get back in. We do have the bell there. Maybe we'll address that. Yeah, just got out. I think it was 75.16. No, 75.30s. The last out there, as we just punched out as soon as the market closed. So silver, obviously, I think we've beaten this horse a little bit too much here today, but nice move to the downside, ending down 28%. Gold, now these aren't spot prices. These are just the ETFs. So gold down 10%. I mean, it's going to pretty much match the physical on that. Copper with a kind of a day similar to gold as well, down 10, I thought, last time we checked. Yeah, down 10 exactly. 10% on COPX, and these are just ETFs, right? Not spot copper. Copper's actually not spot at all, but still down 10%. We'll see where that goes. Good days, I think, overall. In the market, other than tech names, we had sort of gone over that. We didn't do this enough for you guys near the close, but you know, this side. So this is going to be a lot of the tech names, right? Which is where there's going to be a lot of blood in the waters. But, you know, some healthcare names, Merck, Eli Lilly, good. Tesla, good today. Energy, good. XOM and CVX. CVX up 4% almost on earnings. So that's a good one. And then consumer non-durables, almost no reds there either. So if you are well diversified, it's funny, as I said to Marissa, like, I'm not that well diversified. Last night I said to my dad, I'm almost too diversified and want to get into more of certain names, like this one right here with a T. Yeah, today, not great. What's this name down? 16.8% right there that maybe we didn't. What's this? Oh, App.
Yeah, that's I mean, App.
We actually did cover. Take two. What? Come on, Fabian.
Whoa.
Take two, man. What's going on over there? Did we get another story about Grand Theft Auto? What's up with
as far as I know, it's the same catalyst that tanked Roblox and Unity.
Oh, yeah.
But Take-Two, oddly, did, like, last time I checked, didn't move that much on this. It was mostly Unity and Roblox, but in case people missed it, there's some Project Genie, I believe it's called, coming out of Google. It's like AI gaming and Google DeepMind specifically, and so that was circulating, even though that came out, like, I think 24 hours ago as of the morning. That was really circulating, and I think that's what led to this drop. That's what I was seeing everybody talk about anyway.
Yeah, it pimp slapped Unity the most. Like it was Unity that got Unity got the raw end of that.
Literally, Unity will go bankrupt if
24% down, and that this is another one. Like we're talking about stocks that look really, really bad as of the end of this week and the end of this month. This is about this is probably the epicenter.
This is what I call a deal right here. Shout out to Fabian, he just said that in my ear. This is honestly, it just requires more work. Like, I don't know, I'm going to read about that story, how much of Take-Two's gaming would be affected. Like, they're all in on Grand Theft Auto. Google's not going to do anything, but like, that's not that. So, I think it's just more about the future of gaming. So let's just go back and maybe have a look. I probably won't do anything. We're so loaded with hockey. Like this weekend is crazy, man. We're at a rink tomorrow at 7:15 in the morning. Then she has another skate at 10, then a game at 2. We have a game tonight. It's nuts, but I would change it for nothing. $200. Yeah, Take-Two. So good little story there. And that's why sometimes you got to look at those.
And if you like it,
at the broader market, because there's going to be names that you can find out of nowhere. I think Take-Two's a really good one there. To look at, but I think Google should be the one that we all buy on news like that. They're just getting their hands dirty everywhere, man.
And by the way, for next week, obviously, we did the aftermarket show twice this week. It'll be, I'm pretty sure we're busier next week in the aftermarket show. It's another big week of earnings.
Yeah, okay. I haven't looked at the exact days, but Palantir will be Monday.
Palantir's Monday, and usually there is nothing on a Monday. So.
Yeah, we may stay a little bit later for PLTR, but I'm not sure. We'll discuss that on Monday. But thanks everybody, man. Yeah, good week. We hadn't. I think you were here every day this week.
No, Monday. Monday was the snow day.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we finally had a week. We pretty much spent all of December and January with either OB or in one of our desks. And now it looks like
this is stupid snow, man.
We're getting not just that. I mean, I was saying even December.
Oh, December's over.
We got rid of our vacation days, and then this week with the snow, and last week and all that. But
it's too cold.
Yeah, thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks, Brendan, Sharif, Joe, obviously, Adara in the back.
Shout out to our guests today as well.
A couple great guests over the week as well. We had the Feed CEO on, and we saw how crazy that's. We had the Feed CEO. Like, come on, man. I mean, that's a good get, right? Fabian's over there. Great couple picks, as well as Ramin. Thanks for everything for that, and go check out our Instagram. Make sure you go check out all the social media. There's some pretty nice videos popping over there, and then Andre, of course, changing everything. And shout out to Randy. We always gotta say.
Well, Randy hooking us up and keeping
for the
us
sandwiches and the
caffeinated.
espressos and the coffees, and for always putting a smile.
And thank you guys for sticking around.
Yep.
And making it a heck of a lot more fun.
Last trading day of the month. So.
And now we're into February. January is usually a pretty good month. February, there's just not enough trading days, unfortunately. But you can get some early shopping done.
Was it a hump year last year? I think it was.
Was it? I don't remember, man.
Well, I'm gonna check the calendar.
Is it this year? Dara's gonna know.
Is it this year? Hump years. No, there's only 28 days.
Okay, I don't.
February this time around.
The last leap year was in 2024.
Yeah. Okay. So I said last year, but that's 2 years ago. Okay. Ciao, everybody. Turn the lights off on us. See ya. Have a good weekend.